Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you listen to this. This is Machibi Hello Summer Critique Panding Crime, Ricardo Medina.
Hello.
Along with special guest, along with special guest performers, I should say, Nicholas Micwise Dobson.
Yo, what's up?
Representing Southside Lifestyle to the fullest. Of course, the incomparable Doe Boy.
Yeah.
And this is the first retrospect review of 2019. Hopefully, it won't be the last. And in this show here, well, there's just basically us just looking back at classic rap albums of, the day. So in this case, we're going to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Kanye West's debut album from 2004, College Dropout.
Right.
So, yeah, boy, Kanye West himself, boy. Such an iconic figure, such a controversial figure, if you will, in terms of rap music, in terms of music today, boy. I would say right off the bat, he's that type of person where it's like, it has so much great things about you, but sometimes you just see and do some shit, boy, where it's be like, you know, it's like but oh gosh, man.
He has to love sometimes, huh?
Yeah, boy. But there is no denying how influential he is in terms of music. So we had to go back, right? We had to go way back. We had to go back to the old Kanye, back to the soul Kanye, right? Before the MAGA hats that made him feel like Superman. Superman was my favorite superhero when I was growing up. You remind me of like Superman. You know what I mean? We had to go way back, right?
Before he started dipping in freaking Kim sauce.
I know, right?
Our black
enjoy that shit. Yeah. So you gotta go back to 2004, boy. A great year in my opinion, and why I have to mention the year too? Because at the time this album came out, I had just started, well, probably a year into tertiary education, right? So something like the College Dropout coming out, and especially with that first song on the album, We Don't Care, and how that kind of just hit me over the head when I first heard it, right? That was something, right? So 2004, great year, you know. I mean, Chappelle's Show and Wire was on TV. I'll talk about Chappelle's Show in a bit, right? Yeah, but this was when I really got to hear the first project from Kanye West. I never heard his mixtapes prior to that. I heard it, actually checked them out years later, actually. Like the prerequisite and Get Well Soon and stuff like that. I actually checked those out later on, right? But before that, I didn't really know who Kanye West was, but I was familiar with some of his beats. Case in point, the stuff that he did for the Dynasty Rock La Familia, which is why This Can't Be Life, which admittedly is a song that I didn't really like, but I do like the set. No, the beat fit. The beat fit is so depressing, Jared, in my opinion. And just the team is really depressing.
That's not depressing, yo. The most depressing song. The last song is the depressing beat.
All right, yeah, that one take it. But yeah, because there's so much raw emotion on that track, especially with Scarface in the end, right? Legendary rap. Yeah. That's when I started to feel it.
The verse was on point. Yeah, that was a different verse.
Yeah, and speaking of Scarface, when he came out with the Fix classic album, in my opinion, he had a track, Guess Who's Back. And to me, I think this was the first time I ever heard Kanye on an actual track where he did that, Guess Who's back on the block with a hoe. Yeah, that was like the first time I heard Kanye on an actual song. I was like, oh, who is this guy? But I didn't know who he was. I just thought, he's just like a Swiss Beats wannabe, just providing a hook because he's the producer, right? But I love the beat for that, right? But when it really hit for me was when Beanie Siegel brought out The Truth, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, okay.
Real long, The Truth come out 2000.
Yeah, 2000. I was like, okay, this is who Kanye is, right? But really, what shot him to prominence, of course, was The Blueprint. When that album came out, right? September, it was September 9th, right? It came out, right? 2001.
No, 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11.
Or was it the 10th?
No, 11. It came out 9/11.
Right. So it came out 9/11, right? And yeah, when tracks like HD Izzo and Heart of the City, when those tracks came in, especially how infectious HD Izzo was, where I was like, all right, this is the name to look out for in terms of production, right? Kanye West. But we didn't really know him as a rapper, and as he explained in the final track of this album here, he really wanted to be known as a rapper as well. But people were more looking at him like, you a Swiss beats straight. You're a producer first and a rapper, I guess,
After, yeah.
afterwards, right?
Mhm.
And then all that changed for him. Of course, when the car accident took place, him driving home from that studio, and then him just feeling so tired, and then accident hits, and then his jaw basically being misaligned actually, and
Yeah.
then they had to wire it shut basically. And then he came out with that with the I think this is the first single he came out with, Through the Wire, which I will talk about later on, right? But
Mhm.
that's when I was like, all right, this is Kanye rap. This is who he is. So just long story short, so when I first listened to the College Dropout, I was like, this is something different here. And I forgot to mention too, this is like a year after the Black Album, when everybody was like, oh shit, Jay-Z's retired. So who is going to, you
Right.
know, sit on that throne? Wink, wink. Get it? Right.
Yeah.
So who's gonna sit on that throne now? And then it's like, all right, well, Kanye, this guy with his Louis Vuitton backpack full of demos and beats and whatnot gonna come and fill that throne. Okay. Let me see what he had to offer. And yeah, just off of first listen, I was like, all right, this man is a real deal. He has charisma, he has charm, he has a lot of themes to talk about. And what I like about just in general about the album, really in comparison to his other stuff, is that he was the everyday man. He was like the person we could kind of relate to in some way, shape, or form. He wasn't a
Right.
drug dealer who decided to get into the rap game. He was just a normal guy who have a talent for beats and a passion for rap now. And yeah, so this album just really stuck to me now, and just especially with this college team basically, is the idea of you not having to follow what society says or what teachers tell you. Like, you could be wherever it is you want to be. If you feel that this educational field that you're in is gonna hamper things, then do what you could to either plow through it or just leave it altogether and pursue your dreams. Then I thought that was like such a powerful message, especially at the time when I heard it. Right. So
Mm.
enough of me rambling about the album. Ricardo, what were your thoughts going in? Well, sorry, what the first time you ever listened to the College Dropout? Where were you? How you felt when you first?
Right. So
Heard?
yeah, boozy nigga moment.
Yes, yes, we know because you
Yeah.
were all into conscious rap. I forgot to mention
Right.
that.
I yeah, it was catering to kind of this black Greek culture. I was loving that. I was like, yeah, college shit is talking about a bunch of stuff in terms
Yeah,
of it was a big blowback after 15. So started, died off at this point. I was like, yeah, this is a good cultural thing for rap. And I like this dude and so on, doing so and so on, and Chappelle show and
yes, yes,
so on,
yes.
and all of this thing. And then yeah, the album does end up being like absolutely brilliant for me. This is one of my favorites ever. And yeah,
Micwise, your what was your experience, your first time, I should say, with the College Dropout and Kanye West as a producer and rapper?
I was looking forward to it basically because at the time, he was basically coming out as the backpack conscious rapper, rapping on soul beats, and at the time I was heavy into like Talib Kweli and that kind of thing. So I
Me
wanted
too.
to see
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I wanted to see him win because I felt like Kweli wasn't winning in the game like that, and I wanted to see a rapper of that ilk kind of come through and really win. So yeah, when the album came out, it definitely met my expectations, and I was also happy that the general public received it the way they did.
yeah,
Because he didn't have those traditional club singles at the time, and that was 2004, where it felt like you had to have like a club single, you had to have a street single, that kind of way, right? So
Right.
he changed the game. He was making music that I wanted to hear, and I was just happy for the success of it as well.
Yeah. Doe Boy, your first time with Kanye West and the College Dropout.
Well, that was 2004. So I was repeating in Suncom at the time. So I was in Form 4.
Right.
And I was building my CD collection, and in my CD collection it have a Pacific part just for Rockefeller albums.
Ah.
right.
Right.
So I had
Yeah.
like every Rockefeller album that come out, I had. So I know who's Kanye, and I know that how he had a project coming up. Listening to him, then I get into Talib Kweli through a friend of me, Mike Neba, and I heard Gorilla Monsoon rap. Can you make the beat and do some um vocals? Let me say like
Right.
that, vocals on
Yeah.
it. And so I was up on it. Then, like as I say, Blueprint, a few more Rockefeller albums come out, and he do beats on it. So I was more looking forward to the album as a producer. And then when Through the Wire, when the video for Through the Wire came out, and I saw
Yeah.
it on Rap City,
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
show was on heavy rotation in Rhapsody, but
yeah.
Yeah.
When I see it, I was like, okay, well, sold. I will be buying this album when it drops.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that's how I got into Kanye.
Right. Just a couple things to mention about the album itself. It was nominated for 2 awards: Best Album of the Year and Best Rap Album, which it won for. And like I say, it just really changed the paradigm of like what I don't want to call it conscious rap, but just artists
Backpack.
that you would put in that category, like backpack rappers as well. You
Yeah.
know what they're
Mhm.
capable of. I mean, he would inspire artists like Lupe Fiasco, who showed up on the follow-up album, Late Registration, and just influence so much other
Which to
rappers.
me is Kanye's best album.
That was what I'm gonna get into because yes, the College Dropout is part of the what I call the college trilogy, right? Which includes the College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation, right? Which I'll never forget. Graduation was going up against 50 Cent Curtis because they coming out the same day, and it was like,
Mhm.
all right, who gonna win? And it was like, of course, Kanye gonna win. Come on, man, Grammy nominated gonna win that shit. But yeah, now we had to get into Late Registration, and I'm gonna make this argument, but I'm glad that Doe Boy mentioned it. Hit the nail on the head. Personally, this is my favorite of the trilogy. The
Yeah.
production on this boy was so top notch, boy. Man, just like elevate the production on this boy. The orchestration, the strings that he used on this boy, the soul sampling, what he did here was just on point, boy. I would say like next to perfect in my opinion. And what I like the most about this album here compared to the last one is why the last one had your emotional moments, had some sour moments as well. Not too much, of course, but just in terms of what he went through, as a rapper and trying to get into the game. But this one felt more optimistic. It had a much more upbeat feel to it. Um, well, Ricardo, before we met up online, you say your favorite song off of that was Crack Music, right? Which featured the game.
Second. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite one just so happened to be We Major, way.
Right.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
song,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is like
yeah,
that was
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
is like hip hop euphoria for me. I could listen to this and like every second of this way, I just like in heaven. It's just like just the loveliest rap beat you could ever come up with. The boom bap instrumental that goes into just how everything sounds. Nas killed
Yeah.
it on this. You know what I mean? I love where he kind of foreshadowed, the birth of his record label. Where he's talking about, one day I gotta make my own label because I don't want to see other talented rappers go through the shit that I went through, and so said, so done. But yeah, I just totally love that track. Had some great moments like, heard him say, Touchy Sky, which featured Lupe Fiasco. That was the first time I ever heard of him before he
Yeah.
put out Kick Push, which was that it was euphoria as well too, but on a different level.
Gone was a big one as well. Gone
Yeah,
with
Gone
camera,
as well with
and
Cameron.
consequence.
Cameron killed it. Consequence was great on it.
Yeah.
Diamonds from Sierra Leone, that was great as well. Didn't think that
Yeah.
for
And
a man to take for a
the
man to
remix.
the
The
remix
remix.
in
Oh,
particular.
Yeah, the
yeah.
remix. Yeah.
Especially,
Um,
Jay-Z's famous line, I'm not a businessman, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
yeah.
Love that.
Right.
My
And
track
of
on
course,
that is Roses. I like
yeah,
Roses.
Roses was nice. Roses
This was
was a
incredible.
great moment as well too.
Mhm.
But of course and Drive Slow was great as well. It's
Yeah,
just that laid back,
that
too.
sample was
Yes,
nasty.
way. Yes.
Yeah.
How he took what it was, boy, sure, he want to be a thug from Tupac. And how he just
Yeah.
flipped that was just excellent. But of course, the big song that everybody remember, everybody loved from us was Gold Digger. And this
Yeah.
was right
Meh.
around the time when Jamie Foxx did Ray, and he got nominated. Well, he
Yeah.
won Best Actor for it. So he just hit that right at the perfect time. Yeah, the perfect sample, and the perfect person to sing over the sample, and that was just a catchy ass song. Jen. You could not escape that song. That was just all over the place, Jen. So yeah,
I love
for
what
me,
Jamie
Late
I love
Registration was
what
excellent.
Jamie did on it. But it wasn't my favorite song. But I love what Jamie did
Yeah.
on it. at the time.
All right, fine. But yeah, just because of how upbeat and just how I don't know, just how he just elevate his sound, his style, and even his rhymes and as well on this album. Yeah, for me, this is the best out of the trilogy track. But your thoughts on Late Registration? You all agree with me? Well, you find Late Registration was alright though, but it wasn't as great as College Dropout.
Nah,
Ricardo, well, if you want to
Oh
start,
no, yeah, yeah, it was a step down overall.
all right,
But
fine. Yep.
for me, but yeah, like, it was just again good timing. Music and art and things already. It's not just about the quote unquote objective things, the timing, like guys, blah blah blah. And yeah, for me, it just didn't impact me anywhere near as much as College Dropout.
Fair
Hmm.
enough. Doe Boy, since you agree with me,
no.
yeah, yeah. What were your thoughts on Lead Registration? What do you think about it now? You like,
Nah, it still is Kanye best album because after that it was just me. Yeah, after that, it was good. Everything went downhill.
we'll argue about that in a bit. Yeah.
Everything went downhill because after the graduation trio and he bring out 808 and Heartbreaks, I really
Yeah,
stopped caring much about Kanye and the music.
yeah, me too.
Ah.
Hmm.
Micwise, you did you love? Do you love Lead Registration as much as myself and Doughboy do, or
I
or you still prefer College Dropout over this or
I love
other album?
I love late registration. In terms of the college trilogy, I have late registration is actually my favorite.
What?
Late registration is actually my second favorite Kanye album, though.
Ah,
What?
My favorite Kanye album is actually My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
What?
yes. Which we're gonna get to in a bit, right? So just to jump to graduation now. Well, graduation came out September 11th, 2007. This one I don't want to say is the weakest out of the three, but it feels like a solid closer
Right.
to the trilogy itself. Not just in the title and the album art, which still works for me. But just the themes of it. Him basically kind of. I think this was around the time when Jay-Z, you know, stopped being retired and he came back with Kingdom Come. I think it was around that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So what I like about this is where Kanye was just basically brave enough to say, "Well, I reach now. Um, people know me worldwide as a rapper and a producer, but now I'm gonna see how far I could take my music." So he
Mhm.
he experimented with electro or techno, whatever it
yeah.
is, with Stronger,
And
which a
that
song which I still
sample,
love. Sorry.
the Steely Dan sample champion. That's my favorite
Yeah,
track.
yeah. Champion still
Yeah,
a bounty yard song. I love that beat. But yeah, Stronger. Which oh gosh, well, the Akira video aside, I still think is a great song. Yeah, the mouse was ripping off Akira in like
right.
in such a Kanye way. I was like, all right, okay, yeah. Good Life, such a upbeat song, T-Pain, in it.
Yeah,
Can't
that
tell
was
me
a
nothing.
cool song.
Yeah, can't tell me nothing. I thought that was great as well. They could have
Yeah.
used Young Jeezy a little bit more, but him in the background, like, ha ha, I see you, nigga. You know what I mean?
Hey.
But there was something about just the arrogance in that chorus, especially with the "Excuse me, is you saying something?" They can't tell
Tell
me
me.
nothing. And this is how he's stressing that nothing. Like that always stood out to me. Um, Barry Bonds, I thought that was a pretty dope song with Lil Wayne. I thought that
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah.
Mhm.
He kind of lost me with Drunk and Hot Gills. He lost me with
Yeah.
that. Most stuff was on it, but I was like, what the fuck? I'm glad
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
got DJ Premier on Everything I Am. I love his scratches in it. I actually love Flashing Lights. I love the beat for this. It has this sort
Yep.
of like late night driving through Las Vegas and you're seeing all these like neon lights and shit. Like I always get that
Um,
that vision fit.
for me, with flashing lights is the symphonic song to it with strings and everything that just put me in a warm mood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
it does do
about
that.
just the
Yeah.
strings in it. But to me, the highlight, oh yes, and who could forget Homecoming? I thought that was a great ode to Chicago and whatnot.
Mhm.
Great chorus actually from Chris Martin. But to me, the shining moment on the album, where it really does feel like this is the end, though, is Big Brother, where he mentions not just No ID, the producer who helped get him into the game first of all, but also his idol, Jay Z, and him basically saying, well, yeah, I kind of have to be my own man. I kind of have to stop looking up to you all the time. I mean, I still look up to you now, but still, I had to be my own man. I be my own artist. And to me, that was like the perfect way to just end that entire trilogy. Like, I'm going to move away from your shadow now. You're back on the throne now. You're going to do your stuff, but now I going to do my own things now. And, that's
Right.
what really stood out to me in terms of graduation. But yeah, it is admittedly the weakest. It's a trequel, but as a closer in the trilogy, I thought it would. Micwise, you agree with me in terms of just it working as a solid closer, or you wanted more out of that?
But to be honest with you, um, all right, I done say my piece. I put late registration as the best.
Yeah,
In terms of putting something second and third, I really can't do that because to me personally is a thing to do with my mood.
right.
So one day I will tell you that graduation is better than college dropout. The other day I will say is vice versa. I think what Kanye did on graduation, and he talked about this. He basically wanted to make stadium music, stadium
Yes.
sounding
Right.
music, and like you could hear that in like even Big Brother sounds
Yeah,
like a
beat for that is
stadium,
yes, stadium.
yeah, like
Yeah,
arena type of shit now. So I get what he was trying to do. I think people hold on to College Dropout because of that nostalgia, because everybody could pinpoint where they were in their lives when they heard that. But Graduation is a serious album. You now list out all those amazing tracks, with the exception of Drunk on Hot Girls. You now talk about all them amazing tracks. I mean, Graduation to me is up there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ricardo, thoughts on graduation? Did it stick out to you?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
yeah, it kind of come and gone for me. Again, it had tracks I liked. Again, the Steely Dan sample I really loved, Champion. But that's just the stuff that released. I bought it way later than the other two albums. Like with College Dropout and Late Registration, those two were, I think I bought that within a week. But I think I brought that like quite Christmas. I didn't care. Like I had no energy for it. So like, okay, it's fine. It's come and gone for me. But yeah, I do agree with you as a closer to the whole, Kanye and his relationship to college and all his complaints and his ideas. It does work in that sense. Yeah.
yeah. Doe Boy, your quick thoughts on graduation?
Um, to me, it not my favorite out of the trilogy.
Right.
It, it have a place there because it have real good songs and stuff, but
It does. Yeah.
it for me it's just like how Blueprint 3 is the same way
Ah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
to me. It
Even
just
right
it
down to how that album closed with Forever Young, or whatever the name of the song is. I really was never a fan of that song, to be honest, even when it
mm,
became a single. Yeah.
mm.
But
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, just the whole aura of the thing. It was like you feel it's a cool long. The album is basically a cool long. So
Right.
it, it started off and then when it reached the peak, it just taking a drastic drop. It ain't like bringing it down to levels like on which who album I could reference with that amount of tracks with that, but like Nas, it was written.
Ah,
Right.
That'll bring it down. It does start off, then it does peak, then it does just bring it down to a calm. So the calm with that Kanye album was drastic. It just peak and then blah.
right. Right. I get what you mean. So cut a year later, and we were all wondering, okay, where Kanye gonna go next way? And he dropped a project boy, which admittedly, I think I only listened to like twice in my life, and I just never got back to it. Not saying I hate the album, but it's a tobacco album, folks. I don't see myself
Yes.
going back to a tobacco album. Of course, you're talking about 808 and Heartbreak, right? So here's where he started experiment with like pop music, well, more electro pop and synth pop and R&B and stuff. He sang a lot more in this one, especially on the single "Heartless," which I honestly never cared for, even though it had a really cool video fit. Um, Love Lockdown was cool. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. I love the sort of Afrobeat vibe that was going on.
Yeah.
Um, Paranoid was cool, actually, in my opinion. Cause that one, I believe, had the sort of 80s synth kind of vibe. It really does sound like some kind of 80s club song. That was cool. Um, And Welcome to Heartbreak. I love the video fit. Don't really, the song is alright, but the video fit I thought was excellent. The way how they kind of use like this like video buffering style basically to show like both artists kind of blending in and out of each other. That was cool. But to me, the highlight for this, believe it or not, was Amazing. I actually think that was like the best song, the best song of the album. Just how brash he is, how confident he sounded. And then, well, the chorus, simple as this, so amazing, so amazing. Then Young Jeezy doing these ad libs, is yeah, you know what I mean? But just that beat alone, I thought.
At least he gave a verse that time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, I just couldn't get into this. Like, I couldn't get back into this, as I should say. Understand the context of it. I think this was around the time when his mom died, or was either before or after. But I think this is right when his girlfriend that he mentioned in College Dropout left, and it was just him.
She didn't leave.
She didn't leave. What happened? What happened actually?
When he make that album, now he didn't leave she and start dealing Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. He left
him. Yeah, Amber Rose left him.
Right. Amber Rose left him. Yes, now I remember. Right. I was trying to remember if it was the first girl or if it was Amber. I wasn't sure. See, because I haven't gone to this, I haven't revisited this album in like a long while, right? But I don't know. Like I say, it's a Tabanka album. It's him singing, and then they had
Amazon music.
Yeah, then they had to end it off. Then they had to end it off with Pinocchio's story, which is like the most depressing way to end an album. Like, god damn, I know it's a concert performance, but god, I just hear that shit once and like I think twice. I was like, no, I don't want to hear this song ever again in my life. This shit just way too depressing, boy. But yeah, other than that, this just really came and went for me. This was a far departure from Graduation. But I do understand in terms of his his discography. He wants to try new things out, so I don't blame him. And he wants to be personal. I don't blame him for that, but. It's a tobacco album, folks. Come on.
Yeah.
Ricardo, you agree with me? You cared about E-Tweeted or
right. The girl I was with back when this album came out really loved this album for some reason. I was like, "Well, you're trying to say something more." And this one didn't work for me at all. I kind of hated it, so I was like, "Yeah, this not this. What is this? I get it, but I don't get it at the same time." I remember hating it. I just listened to it once, never again.
Right. Micwise, what are your thoughts on E-Tweeted Heartbreak?
Yeah, I didn't care for this at all, with the exception of Amazing. I like the song with Cuddy, and that's it.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts. It's just not for me. It's not for me. But it was influential in the sense that it basically influenced Drake and his whole So Far Gone mixtape.
Yeah.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
it was influential. Let's be real. But me personally, I didn't care for
it. Doe Boy.
Yeah.
Your thoughts? What were your thoughts on E-Tweeted Heartbreak? It's booty, right? It's booty.
It's not that whole booty, eh? You make a whole Tabanka album, but better off than killing yourself. But dude, drink some brown.
Right?
Drink a little cognac.
Yeah, Ricardo, what's up?
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm not sure if when did his mom die? Because I think that was like a big part of that too, right?
His mom died with late registration.
Right after that came out.
Oh, right after.
Factor, right? Right. So that was that not a factor? Into that?
Could be, but I know Roses was for his mom, and mom was sick at the time.
Right.
He did Roses. And then she died. I think she died when Graduation did come out.
Right.
So it's a possibility. Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about Amber Rose leaving him, but just his detachment from his friends and family and stuff that he talk about in the album tour. Yeah. He touched on a lot about what was going on with him.
The album is good. It's good for depressed people, but it not my cup of tea for Kanye.
Yeah, I really don't see myself going back to this again, but
I keep saying that about him. I say the one thing about Kanye West I'm really talking about is I don't think he ever processes months that properly. You know,
That
never
that,
possible.
that is true. Yeah.
That are
Never
possible, yeah.
well,
Yeah.
it's, it's something that just stick in his brain. And as far as I'm concerned, he has never publicly addressed it properly in any serious way, like in his work. I think he made a video game about it or something like that.
Yes, I was about to mention that the man do a game with the mom
Yeah, South Park made
on
fun.
this unicorn flying to heaven. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
right. Yeah.
There is
So
big
I
party to launch this shit, man. What?
yeah, it is good. And I don't think he ever just processed that properly. And to me, that was like the turning point for he, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you because from this point on, that's when his music stopped being about the everyday man and it started being about the rich,
Yeah.
depressed man. You know what I mean? I have so
Right.
much money, I have so much wealth. I look at all the awards, but I can buy more and do more. But why am I still
Unhappy.
feeling unhappy? And this was the aspect of why I would say, in my opinion, at the moment, the last great album from Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
first time when I heard this, first couple of times I heard it, it didn't click with me. I felt he just like had a bigger canvas now, but I felt it was just way too grandiose. It was a little on the pretentious side, like when he put out that 60-minute video for Runaway, and then at the time I was like, okay, why are these songs running so long for? Why Runaway is like close to 9 minutes? I don't understand this. You know what I mean? Why he have so much artists on all of the lights? I don't understand what is going on. Is he trying way too hard to show people how influential he is as an artist? But then a few years later, I re-listened it, like just some years later, and then I dug deep into the lyrics. I dug into what he was trying to say. As basically, I don't know if I have the term right, the quote, like the loudest person in the room is always like the saddest or something like that. Now,
Yeah.
it kind of came off like that. Like
Yeah.
I gotta be real loud and in your face about it. I gotta make the most grand music you ever hear in your life. But when you're digging deep dread, like you're really digging deep dread, you realize like, yeah, I still don't need dread. I still get over Amber Rose. I still get over my mom's death. I still get over my fame and success now, you know what I mean? So it's
Now,
still kind of
well,
comes off lonely.
he
And
had
that's why I love like the final track, Lost in the World, for example. That
Mm.
that to me kind of sums up the whole album, where it's like, yeah, this bounty club music going on, and I did in VIP, chilling, sipping on some Kavasi, and I lonely, and I see this one chick dancing. It's like, yeah, you're my heaven, you're my hell, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Let me start a relationship just because I could, you know what I mean? And that to me was when I was like, all right, now I get the album. Now I love this. And like I say, this to me is, yeah, hands down one of the best albums he ever put out. I would say his last true masterpiece he ever put out in his career so far. Micwise, agree or disagree?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Let me tell you what I say on that. Dark fantasy, gorgeous, power.
Yeah.
All of the lights interlude.
I love that.
All of the lights, monster, so appalled, devil in a new dress, runaway, hell of a life, blame game, lost in the world, who will survive in America?
Yeah, all these songs.
I don't
all these
talk.
songs
I don't
fire.
talk. I don't talk.
Yeah, all
I
these
just,
songs are fire. Yeah.
I don't talk. I don't need to say more. That album, damn near perfect. Damn near
Yeah.
perfect.
It is.
The highlights of that album actually come from people other than Kanye. Pusha T on So Appalled, Rick Ross on Devil in a New Dress,
That verse he put on that track, boy,
Jay-Z
my
on So
God.
Appalled
Yeah.
as well. Jay-Z on So Appalled as well. This
Nicki
album,
Minaj.
man.
Dude, that was a great verse, man. Come on, that was a great verse. She wrote
Me
it
and
on
really,
her way to the studio. She was on a plane and she wrote this thing. You know, Tony Matterhorn, Dirty
Dirty
Wine,
Wine,
and she
and
wrote that on her way there.
Matty,
To me, that's one of her
we
best
really
verses.
doing this. I mean, this is
In my opinion, it is.
with a
But
bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Really, we doing this. I mean, come now, man, come now.
all right, fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
I mean, yeah. Apart from the jokes, yeah, this album damn near perfect to me.
Yeah. Doe Boy, your thoughts on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
This
Last great
album.
masterpiece or just another good album from Kanye?
Let me show you how I get into this album. I didn't want nothing to do with Kanye.
Right.
After all them booty albums, I didn't want nothing to do with him. Micwise come, yo, listen to this album. No, I will not. Listen to the album. I come, I started listening to it, and then I see an interview with him talking about the album, and he basically say he made this album when he was in a real dark place. Nobody in the world did like him at the time because he went through the whole shit with Taylor Swift and stuff now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even had friggin' Barack Obama calling him a jackass.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
When that happened to you, Dre, that's when you gotta sit back and go in your corner and figure shit out, Dre.
So he said that how he just make this album, nobody in the world did like him at the time, and he was in a real dark place at that time. And most people just say when you're at that low, it'll make your best work sometimes now. And
Yeah.
that was he had nothing to lose at the time because everybody did hate him. So he just put it all out there, and the album was real good. It's not like my late, like how I like Late Registration, but it's a damn good album. And Kanye that lightning in a bottle and doubt he could catch again.
Yeah, boy. Indeed. Ricardo, you felt the same way about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, or it took a while for you, like me, to get into it?
Yeah, here's the thing with this album. It wasn't a bad time for me because I was in a phase of just having nothing to do with American hip hop. And I just kind of more or less left off almost all American hip hop at this point. So I was like, nah, I had to go to find French rap and just travel the world for rap for me.
Yeah. German rap real dope though, by the way. You should check out some German rap.
I was all over the world touring, and I was like, all right, well, and then I come back to it and I was like, oh, why can't I miss this piece of work, bro? It's like, this was real hard, bro. What the hell? It's a bad timing. So it didn't impact me anywhere near as much as College Dropout. Totally holds up now. It's just, but it's a bad timing kind of vibes now, unfortunately. I just enjoyed it when I should gotten to it when I got to it, and it's an album I missed. Much like really Kendrick Lamar. I miss it.
Right. So just talking briefly, right? Talking quick, right? So What's Your Tune came out a year after that. I remember really being excited to hear it, especially with Otis being so damn infectious. In retrospect, no, I enjoyed the album. I enjoyed it back in 2011. I had it in my top 10. Not probably 10 or number 9 or something like that, right? But I enjoyed it at the time. But I think we mentioned this before with Doe Boy. There's a lot of fat in this album, though. A lot of filler tracks. I could sit down and stomach them, but ever so often I may wanna just hit next. But there's some great moments, Otis niggas in Paris in particular, especially that trippy ass video that they do for it. But yeah, there were some shining moments for it, but other than that, it was that album that I got back into, to be honest. But I saw the appeal. I get what it's going for. Also like the fact that Killer Mike and LP capitalized on that and form Run the Jewels, which I mean, both of them as a duo put on more work than Jay-Z and Kanye as What's Your Throne. So I mean that kind of says a lot, right? But yeah, just briefly about What's Your Throne. Was this something that you all cared about, or it was just like some novelty something?
I like this album a lot, actually. No Church in a While, Lift Off.
Oh, how can I forget No Church in a While? Wow. That track, that song. Yeah,
I thought that was a strong track. I actually like Lift Off a lot. I enjoy that a lot. Niggas the Past great. Otis was a good track. But yeah, it didn't need to be this long. There are a lot of tracks I would just straight up skip. Like, Who's Gonna Stop Me? Don't listen to that. Made in America. Decent track, Frank Ocean, great, but I don't listen. It's a track I skip, unfortunately. But it just had a couple bangers I would like, and I still listen to it when you're jogging, blah blah blah. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Micwise, What's Your Throne? Quick thoughts.
Watch the Throne. I liked
also it. Hard, motherfuckers.
I liked it overall. There were a couple tracks that I do kind of skip just because I didn't connect with it. But to me, the high points overshadow the low points. So I mean, yeah. Some people say it's a classic or borderline classic. I ain't too sure about that, but it's a very good album.
Yeah,
it is. Doe Boy, I remember you were the one who was saying this just had a lot of fat that needed to be cut out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If What You Throne did come out now with Kanye with this 7-track thing, it will be banging.
Yeah.
That's true, Yeah.
But it had real fat on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Speaking of fats, now we had to talk about the just briefly again. Cruel Summer. I remember when
Yeah,
this came out, this was a big deal. And here's the thing, like I enjoyed the first half of this album. Like, yeah, To the World was a kind of decent way to open things up. Yeah, we have we former boy R. Kelly in it. Um, but it had Click, which was hard. Mercy, that
yeah.
was real hard. You could not escape that
Right.
shit, especially with the it was a weeping in the morning and the national teeth. That was just like an earworm there, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Although I know for like Americans, you'd be like, wait, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? But like for
Yeah.
us in the Caribbean, we'll know where that come from, right? New God Flow,
Yeah.
Ghostface Killer on that
Hard.
track. Oh my god, hard. The morning,
Yeah.
that one
Yeah.
was hard. Cold, I could let cold slide, right? DJ Khaled was pointless on that track, but I could let cold slide. And then from there, I just didn't care for anything else. Like the
Right.
tracks were good, but I just didn't really care for them, especially the Don't Like remix they did with Chief Keef. I was just like, all right, why is this here? Chief Keef with good music? I don't understand what was going on here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, Cruel Summer was good for what it was, but it's not one
Jada,
that I
Jada
got.
Wilson, that was good. Huh?
Yeah. Jada steal the song. He came in last
Right.
thing because he steal the song from everybody. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Micwise, you cared for Cruel Summer, or it was just like, whatever.
Cruel Summer, it felt so rushed to me. New God Flow is the obvious standout.
Right.
That Cold or Terror Flow or whatever, the one where he the back Chris Humphries, that one.
Yeah,
That was
it's
cool the
cool.
first time. Yeah, that was cool the first time I heard it, but then it just kind of got old. I like New God. I like New God Flow, especially the version with Ghostface. I
Yeah,
felt
Yeah.
like Ghostface, Pusher and Ghostface. That's like, yeah, incredible.
of course.
Um, I like the I like the one with oh god, I like the Chief Keef one. I don't like because I Pusher and Jadakiss.
Yeah,
I like Mercy. Mercy was on the album, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Mercy.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a lot of filler, a lot of tracks I really don't care for. But
yeah.
I understood what it was. It's just something to build a little hype for the good music roster, and I think
Yeah.
it more or less did that.
Right. So just running through the last few albums here quick.
Yeah.
Uh this is where Kanye started to lose my boy. When Yeezus came out.
Oh Lord.
Now
Yeah.
I'll just talk briefly about how my listening experience with Yeezus, right? Alright, the man go with experimental, right? The man using more like industrial rap and all that kind of stuff, right? With on site. I was like, all right, he doing something
Yeah.
new. Okay, this is different. All right.
It's an
Then Black
experimental
Skinhead.
album.
Yeah, exactly. It's an experimental album, right? Then
Right.
Black Skinhead come on. I was like, all right, okay, again, into it. All right. Then I Am a God come on. It's like, all right, this is some provocative shit. Okay, I Am a God. All right. Keep going. Then New Slaves come on. It's like, all right, New Slaves. Okay, I reach. All right, we did. And then near the end of New Sleeves, the song cuts and you hear some vocalizing. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was Frank Ocean or Travis Scott. Somebody was singing. Like I felt like I was going up, like I was flying, like past space now. And then I just felt myself just falling right back down to earth, Trent. And everything else beyond that was like, what the fuck is this, Trent? Except for
Yeah.
Bloody Leaves. That was when it kind of picked back up and then just went back to, what the fuck is this? I'm not feeling this shit. And then Bound 2, I get like he was going back to old straight from the soul Kanye. I get, and the video was had a lot of memes made out of it, and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me, it just felt too little, too late. Like, and kind of like in retrospect, it kind of felt like it didn't need to be on the album. It was just there, like, yeah, I'm Kanye. I can still do stuff like this, right? But other than that, though, like I say, it started off like real interesting, and then after that, it just fell apart like quickly. Right?
Yeah.
So, not an album I got back. I got back into. Doe Boy,
Right.
you agree, bro?
But the album was trash. That was booty.
Listen,
That was
my little cousin really defend this shit, right? And
Tell-
remember, you know, and he was like, no, but it have things, and it's one of those cases of it have things you like in it and people you like in it, but like that don't necessarily translate now. It have like producers like Hudson Walk and things like, yeah, I get it, I understand why you like this shit, but dog, nah, dog.
Yeah, it was
Like,
it meta.
unserious. It was all over the place. It
yeah,
was
but
crass. It
It was
was
meta
bougie.
because
It was
I
all
like
kind of shit.
I like industrial rap. That Grips
Yeah.
is one of my favorite rap bands.
Oh yeah, that grips for life, but yeah.
But it have a thin line between distortion and noise. And what
Yes.
Kanye made on
Like,
that album was noise.
Dude, the
yes.
beginning of On Sight, that just sums up the whole album. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
You know how it starts up. Micwise, you cared for Yeezus when it came out, or not?
Uh, don't shoot me for saying this, but I actually like Yeezus. I like Yeezus.
All right, can you was
I
trying
don't
something new or what?
I don't like On Sight though. I don't like the first song, but I don't know, song for song. I just like it. I just connect with it. I recognize the change in style and the industrial sound and thing, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
I love Blood on the Leaves. I love I'm in it. Hold My Liquor. Send It Up. Bound to, which was more of the traditional Kanye song. Black Skinhead. Nah, that album has some joints on it. Y'all should go back and revisit that. Y'all might hear it
I
differently.
afraid, but
So,
I feel like it'll be 40 minutes of my life I can get back again, but
Yeah, Kanye owe me, boy. See, for that and yeah, he owe me time, boy.
oh, we gonna end things off with Ye before we get to College Dropout. Don't worry. Right, so he didn't really lose me with Life of Pablo, but why I didn't really like this album so much, and I remember I reviewed this in the early days of the podcast. Because he was hyping this thing up as he's gonna put it out on Friday, and then he's gonna put it out on
yeah.
Sunday, and it's gonna be available on his site. So it was me basically kind of rushing to try and listen to the album before I met with Ricardo on that Sunday when we talked about the album there. But what brought the album down for me though was just how unfocused and how rushed it felt like. It just
Yeah.
felt like just a bunch of tracks that he was just working on for like 2 3 years, and you just stuff it into the album, and then the last minute thing, all right, gonna take out Chance the Rapper verse here. I gotta change this here, and it just had this slapdash of appeal to things now, and
Yeah.
you really heard it with everything that you got. Even though there was some highlights like Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 and 2, Ultralight Beam I really enjoyed. But yes, and Father Stretch My Hands Part 2, I think this is the first time the whole world heard this guy designer. I think this was like the first time.
Yeah.
I actually liked feedback. I like the concept of feedback, how they did the beat there. Um, I love Kanye, the little skit that he does in between. I thought that was funny. Where he says, they want the old Kanye, straight from the soul Kanye. I thought that was funny. Real Friends, great moment on this album. I actually love the kind of wavy beat for this. Wolves, I wanted to like Wolves, but I just could not connect with Wolves that much.
Yeah.
Just felt too moody and just depressing and shit. Then the video came out and I was like, all right, okay. But to me, the best track of this is really that saying a lot though. No more parties in LA, no more parties in the LA drill.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a Marley beat. Yes, I know Freddie Gibbs rap over it before, but the way how he and Kendrick rhyme over that shit though, especially Kanye, this sort of non-stop flow that he had on this, like seemingly non-stop, that worked for me. That worked for me. But other than that though, yeah, it just really felt slapdash. And then of course it had version 2 and version 3 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
all right, bro, just make up your mind now. I know we live in this age, we could do stuff like this, but bro, just put out your album and just move on with your life. Man. That's how I felt. Ricardo, how you felt about Life of Pablo?
Yeah. This was a big disappointment. Especially when I was saying, all right, you're coming back from the experimental stuff. Give us something now that I expect. And again in my head, I thinking, oh well, he recovered from the mother now, right?
And he
Uh,
didn't. He certainly did.
yeah. This was a big disappointment for me. I mean, it had. I'm trying to think of what it's only the father stretch my hand track part 1, right? And it's only because of that. The only reason I remember that is because the meme. Remember it had a meme about it where they were just playing that the first little part with the chorus playing
Yeah,
itself out, and right before feature stuff. That was it.
right.
Yeah, it really, I just was found this so forgettable. I kind of hated it. I suppose there are a couple of moments, Metro Boomin, a couple of tracks here or there, but especially again, Father Chefman, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and one thing I'll say before we get to Mike Wise and Doe Boy's thoughts. I know some people went back to it and kind of praised the album now. Most notoriously, Anthony Fantano of the Needle Drop went back and I was like, yeah, this album real dread now. But I don't know. Maybe one day I might go back and be like, yeah, I just didn't understand it back then and now I love it. But now it's just like, I don't know. I just really didn't feel it. Micwise, what were your thoughts on Life of Pablo? You
Yeah,
cared for Life of Pablo?
Life, not really, because it felt so. Is the least cohesive Kanye album. It was just too confusing
Yes, that's the problem.
sonically. There were some high points. He had a song named 30 Hours. I
Oh,
like that.
with Andre 3000.
Yeah, he
That was
had
a that
a
was a dope song, even though it ran for way too long, but it was a
yeah,
dope song. Yeah,
he had a Real Friends. I liked with him and Ty Dolla Sign.
yeah.
I like Father Stretch My Hands 1 and 2 kinda. I didn't like the designer thing with the part two. I felt that was kinda he was trying to like ride that wave that designer had at the time. I didn't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
Um
remember we were all, when we first heard Designer on that track. I was like, I think it was because he wanted to get Future. We couldn't get Future. So like,
right.
oh well, this is one guy who was on my
Yeah,
SoundCloud feed, so let me just pick him, right? I got
yeah,
bronze in the letter, and the rest is history, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, I really didn't care for this album. I have not listened to it since the one time that I have listened to it.
Uh, same.
One day I will give it a second listen, just to kind of
Yeah.
give it some.
Doe Boy,
Yeah.
thoughts on the life of Pablo?
Or you got real laugh or feel or stay a real fuck up. But let me give you my story with Life of Pablo. Mike Weiss sent me that,
All right.
right? Unzip it. You see the new Kanye album, listen to it. I'll take it, unzip it, I'll start listening to it. Listen to the first 3 tracks, and this was my opinion. What fucking shit is this? And delete it. Straight delete it and never go back to the album.
Yeah.
That was like, like the enemy on that Kanye album.
Wow. But those are like the most soulful tracks, except for Father Stretch My Hands Part 2, but and
Like,
one to extent. But yeah, boy, you just hear that and just get fed up.
yeah, like because the album wasn't making no sense at the time. Now, like, Kanye, what direction you want to go? Kanye, you're angry, you thing, you're
Yeah.
hungry, what?
Yeah. But as you see that, we had to mention this. This was around the time when well, yeah, he was with Kim Kardashian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess everything kind of changed from there. I guess she's the only person right now who kind of gives a shit about him and his music, and how the kind of shenanigans he's doing, especially with the slavery stuff that he said last year on TMZ that real pissed people off. And then of course him going and meeting Donald Trump with that MAGA hat on. But why I mention all this now is now we had to get the last album so far, which I also reviewed on my podcast here. Yeah, and this was
So,
one of four. Is that a four? Right, four. Yeah, 4 or 5 projects that he put out last year. Each supposed to be like about 30 minutes now, roughly. Um,
7 tracks long. Each one is 7 tracks long.
yeah, 7 tracks long. And like I said in my review, listen to the album twice. Didn't really care to listen to it again. Like understand what he was trying to do. It's more or less kind of him telling the world, all right, well, this is how life is for me now, and yes, I now realize I have bipolar disorder, and I kind of like it. You know what I mean? It Because I have this, I get to say things that people don't like, and sometimes I feel depressed. But you know what? I like being me because I'm Kanye, and everybody loves me, right? So, but there was a few good moments. Like I actually thought the first half of the first track I thought about Killing You was really good and interesting, and then just went on this generic trap direction. I thought that Won't Leave was pretty good as well. Him kind of talking about pretty much talking about Kanye. Sorry, talking to directly Kim Kardashian Westner, and just how she was just able to put up with his bullshit. I thought that was like a strong moment in it. Nah. And then everything else was just like it's just D. I actually thought that No Mistakes is the best track on the album, in my opinion. This was the one where he kind of take a cheap shot at Drake and say, "Calm down, your light skin." But other than that,
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, it was just like, all right. And then, well, the last track, Violent Crimes, where he was talking about, well, I don't want, I want my daughter to be raised in a proper way. So it's kind of like him doing, legacy, like what Jay-Z did on 444, the final track there.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I get the sentiment, I get songs sound nice, all right, okay, but still, I just really don't see myself going back this album again. And honestly, like to this day, I do not understand why people put this thing on such high regard. Though. Like, all right, yes, and oh yes, and to his credit, I more prefer Kids See Ghost though. Like I think that collaboration album is
Yeah.
way better than this one here. Like he did so much on Kids See Ghost alone in 23 minutes than he did on this album here. Yeah, yeah was just D in my opinion. That's the best way to describe it. Micwise, you feel the same way about Ye or you love Ye?
Nah, I didn't care for Ye. Ye came at a bad time because it was like a week after Daytona came out.
Yeah, boy.
So
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
was
boy.
boy.
just kind of
And this
listening to
how you
Daytona
felt
right
after
through.
D2 and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, man gonna come too strong with Ye boy. And then you hear Ye is like, okay.
Nah, that is not even what happened. It's a scene where this Pusha T album is incredible.
Yeah.
And really and truly, all I want to hear from Kanye now is production. I don't want to hear MAGA raps. I don't want to hear Kanye rap about building walls and stuff because I thought, he would have put them things in the music now.
Yeah.
Only one song I listened to because a lot of people were raving about it was Ghost Town, which was cool. It was cool.
It was cool, yeah. And he
But
performed it
yeah,
at Saturday Night Live, by the way. He
mm,
performed it at Saturday Night Live, and afterwards, well, I remember Chris Rock had recorded and put it up on Instagram or Twitter. He
yeah.
started to go off on this rant about Donald Trump and why the MAGA hat's so important and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I saw that stupid clip too. But yeah, and Ye came in the middle of Daytona, which was incredible. And then I actually liked the Kids See Ghost. So I was like kind of back and forth between those two albums. So I didn't really have much time to really get into Ye, to be
yeah.
honest.
Ricardo, did you ever check out Ye or I try to remember if you checked it out. I think you did, but you ever went back to listen to
I,
Ye at
I,
all?
I skimmed it. I skimmed it because I was still he still in doghouse to me with that MAGA bullshit. So yeah, I only skimmed this album. I can't really comment on the album and I never went back to it.
Right.
Yeah, again in the context of Pusha T album, it was like yeah, I still listen to Pusha T, like what the fuck?
Like we
And
don't need this now, Kanye. It's
yeah,
alright.
yeah, and I was like, oh, you well on tonight should be good. So it's like I'll sit down and give it a full chance proper, but I haven't fully listened to this album proper. I skimmed
Yeah.
it and I was still mad because he's wearing that fucking red hat. And
Yep,
so it's
yep,
like
yep. He
yeah,
had that make him feel like Superman. Remember that?
yeah, yeah.
Doe
So
Boy, did you
Yeah.
care for? Well, I know you didn't care for Ye at all. I remember that.
As Mike said, it come out in a bad timing because it had Nazir the drop, then
right.
Daytona the drop, and I think the Kids See Ghost did come out before the year. So we had well, two decent albums, two good albums and a decent one. And popping, well, I done write off Kanye being a madman, and then hearing like the intro to the album, I'm like, yo, this dude crazy for real. Like,
Yeah, like I,
Yeah.
I, I was thinking about killing you. But like I
yeah,
say, I felt I was like he could have carried that argument further, but then he just stopped after this mumbling in the beginning, and then he just go off on this like generic trap shit. Right? I was like,
yeah. And then like I listened to the album, but for the work that he do on them projects and the Tiana Taylor and stuff,
yeah,
Right.
yes, yeah.
basically he had the booty. He had the booty.
Yeah.
Anyway, so going back now to the beginning, right? To the college dropout at long last. But yeah, I mean, you can't just talk about Kanye and not talk about his other, his other albums and just the production stuff he's done, right? You had to kind of talk about everything just to get the full scope, right? Because there's so much about this guy. So let me not waste any time. Let me jump into the college dropout, right? So track one, the intro. First time I heard this, I could have swear it was Bernie Mac, rest in peace, but it's actually DeRay Davis, this comedian. And he's like do this real exaggerated Bernie Mac impersonation. As he's playing I'm assuming he's the dean of this college. So he's like, you do need to do a little something for the kids to enjoy, right? Now, what I like about this is that it's 19 seconds long. If it
Yeah.
was like 1 second long, I'd be like, all right, this is shit, moving on. But it's just like 1 second close from it from again, mad. But Other than that, cool intro, right? So it is what it is, unless you guys have anything to say about the intro. Nope.
Nah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
yeah,
intro, right? Cool.
yeah, the intro.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we jump into We Don't Care, boy. And I just like how it starts off with, oh yeah, I got the perfect son to sing to the kids. That's how he
Yeah,
say that, and then he jumps in with drug dealing just to get
just to
by.
get by.
Love that. That
yeah.
chorus is catchy as hell, Dread. And what I like is that he goes even further with having kids sing. In the second or two, he's like, kids sing. Like, yes, that's what we talking about. But
We
what I
not
like
supposed to
though,
make it past 25. Jokes
jokes
on
on
you,
you,
we
we
still
still alive.
alive.
Just such a
Yeah.
powerful liner. But what I like, but this song basically is just a social commentary. It's talking about, well, yeah, get money by any means, but it's how you'd go at it, either in a positive or a negative way, right? So first, talking about how he looked up to the dope man. He was the only man who was making money, but
Yeah.
not every man Jack could sell drugs, but you can't stay home and expect to get paid. So you had to get out and do something, right? I love the second verse kind of follows up on that as well. I mean, the third verse in particular, he's talking about cutting out after school programs, especially with music. You had to kind of give kids something to do, else they're gonna find themselves either selling drugs or being drug fiends or basically like that. So it's how the context and just everything he talks about in it, I thought was great. um he have some great lines as well in it. In particular, let's see if I pull it up. I love what he says. Cause ain't no tuition for having no ambition, and ain't no loans for sitting your ass at home. So he forced to
Yeah.
sell crack, rap, and get a job. You gotta do something, man. Your ass is growing. Like I thought that was just such a powerful, you
Yeah.
know, um, just some powerful bars there. And overall, I love the song. I love the instrumental. I love oh gosh, the violins in this as well. Yeah, this is a perfect way to kick off the album, Jed. Ricardo, agree or disagree?
Fully agree. Love this. Love this track. Energy. Good start. Yeah. Love this track. Yeah.
Yeah. Micwise,
Yeah,
perfect way to start the album off.
yeah, very much so. Especially what I was expecting from a Kanye West album coming in. Um, yeah, the beat, the subtlety in the beat. Um, just the way, from a technical aspect, the way the vocals on the hook were blended together with the kids and the female voices and thing. Plus
Yes.
the message and thing too. I was like, when that first track went off, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a serious album I'm listening to here.
Yeah. Doe Boy, what are your thoughts on We Don't Care?
This
Do you care
this
for We
was
Don't Care?
yeah, careful for this real. This was real cool and like it just sets the tone for the album now.
Yeah,
It
it
set
certainly
tone for the
does.
album.
Yeah.
So it just put you in the right mood and prepare you for what coming into it.
Yeah. Now, next track, well, I should call this an interlude or I guess Graduation Day. I
That's skip.
love how this starts off.
Mhm.
What the fuck is that, Kanye?
Yeah,
So
especially
yes, the,
after
the,
We
the
Don't
beat
Care.
from before, he's pissed off at what he hear, and the man just goes all out, just like Star Custom out. I like when he says, use a nigga. I don't mean that in no positive way, right? I thought that was like a powerful part in that track. But what I like is that you hear what is this pump and circumstance in the background, that the
Yeah.
graduation
Right.
song there. But I love
Right.
how they just play it in this sad way, and then it just devolves into this dirge there. Then John Legend, who's auto-tuned. At first, I didn't understand why he was auto-tuned, but I think it works though, because it kind of sounds like this is um this is Kanye's inner voice talking. Cause he's talking about, well, yeah, I left college, but don't tell my mom. She want me to get a good ass job, but I just don't want to do this. What I gonna do now in us? So just that feeling of uncertainty is what I love about this track here. It's sad, but it works in the context of what the album is about. So yeah, I love this. Doughboy, what are your thoughts on Graduation Day?
Yeah, skit. Skits are meant to be funny.
Yeah, and it is. It's sad, but it is funny, especially what
Mhm.
the readers, when he rant
Yeah.
and what he does. I love that. Mike Weiss, thoughts on Graduation Day as a skit, as just in the album itself.
Oh yeah, yeah, funny skit, especially coming after We Don't Care. I usually skip skits, even if I like the skit. But yeah, this one I remember. Yeah, very funny and fitting with the theme of where the album was going.
Yeah. Ricardo, is this a skit that you skip, or you just listen to it 'cause
I
it's
skip
funny?
it. I skip it. No. By the time when I had the albums like, yeah, it's funny because it follow up. It's just a good funny follow up to the track from before. It's like, okay, cool. Once you into the story and at the time. But yeah, now the track I probably deleted from a playlist entirely now because like, okay, I don't need to hear this bullshit now.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
next track we have is All Falls Down featuring Selena Johnson. Selena, where's Selena Johnson? I remember
We
when
all
she
would
was.
like to know.
We all want to know, right?
Mm.
But so I'm not sure if I get the history down. If I'm wrong, let me know. But this song did evolve a few times, right? So it was on the prerequisite. It was called
Yeah.
Dream Come True. Then it was remade into Self Conscious. That was from his Freshman Adjustment mixtape. He added the same two verses for the original song, but he just make some tweaks here and there. And then he just remake this thing now, All Falls Down. But in this case, he used a vocal sample from this MTV Unplugged
Lauren Hill.
this piece that Lauryn Hill did. But Clarence Issues is like, all right, I'm gonna get Selena Johnson to just sing over that. I love the beat for this. I love the guitar for this though, the acoustic guitar. It's just so melodic though. I really love the beat for this. The topics for this I really dug as well too. It's just basically about we all self-conscious. You know what I mean? I love the first story where you talk about this girl who wants to pursue this career, but the course that she's doing in college that working out for her, but she don't want to drop out because her parents will look at her funny, right? I love the lines that he dropped, even though it might kind of find kind of corny now, but I still think it works. Where he says she's so precious with the peer pressure, couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis. Like I thought that was a great liner. Second verse, I love what he say. It seems we live in the American dream, but the people highest up got the lowest self-esteem. The prettiest people do the ugliest thing for the road to riches and diamond rings. But to me, what really makes this track work though is that you wasn't hearing rappers talking about this. You wasn't hearing
At
rappers
that
coming out
time,
and saying, yeah, we all privy to this, Jay. We all self-conscious. We all wanna spend a bunch of money on on chains and whatnot, and we have nothing to survive on for the rest of the month. But we wanna floss, right? And no rapper, in my opinion, at that time ever said anything like that. So to me, that what makes this song such a standout track to me. I really love this track.
This track is a bougie Negro track, right?
Yes.
That's the track. It's for people who you're black, but you're dealing with upper class shenanigans, and you still have a lot of pressures with all of this. And yeah, he was emblematic of a lot of this in that way. And well, this song and the video is foreshadowing for his conservative future because Stacey Dash, right?
Stacey
Yeah.
Dash.
Back when she used to look like a freaking snack, now she looking like a snack somebody left.
left out to be stunted, right?
Expired.
Yeah.
Actually going to become this big time conservative apparently, right? But yeah, I remember really liking this track. It was like, yeah, this album really, settling in for me now.
Yeah, and by the way, this track was also nominated for a Grammy as well. So that's a huge achievement there. Micwise, your thoughts on All Falls Down?
Yeah, dope song. I listened to it. I listened to the whole album today just to kind of refresh. And listening to it now, especially with the monitors and thing. Yeah, you really hear how the beat and thing was mixed and just how the guitars were kind of blended in. This is one of his best singles, iconic song. It's not a song I would always go back to because it was played to death on BET and MTV.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it was. It was. Yeah.
But great song. I think this was his second single, and it fit perfectly on the album where it was because I'm into the sequence and things. So
which I'm gonna talk about too at the very end, the sequencing of songs on this album.
Great song all in all.
Yeah, Doe Boy.
Yeah.
You love All Falls Down.
I really like this song because like the way how he put across everything, it like you always seeing us as rappers, but we go through the same insecurities that you all go through, just at a higher level. Like I know a startup rapper and I'll go and buy Versace and don't even know how to pronounce it well and sound like a dumbass.
Pass that Fugazi.
I know, yeah.
So like it was a good conscious look at stuff.
Yes. Right. So next track we have, this is an interlude actually, I'll Fly Away. It's basically John Legend singing the classic gospel song "I'll Fly Away," right? The chorus. But like listening to it again now, prior to us meeting up here, what I like is how it kind of foreshadows into the next track now. 'Kay, it has this kind of dark kind of undertone to it. Now, like, you know what? Yeah, life going hard now, but one day, we're gonna die and we're gonna fly away and we'll all be free, right? So it has that kind of vibe to it. So it sounds less optimistic than you'll hear it in church. But it
Yeah.
sound more like, right, we suffering here, and yeah, like
Yeah,
the only escape
yeah,
is death,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's why
Yeah.
just the sequencing of it works here. Which is funny because I heard this first time on the Jesus Walks for the music video for it now. So I always assumed that this would have come before Jesus Walks. It's like no, it comes before the next track here, Spaceship. So I know this is an interlude, but any y'all have anything to say about I'll Fly Away
Now,
Early.
as far as the sequencing goes now?
Okay, well,
yeah,
I know what you're talking
that same thing is it falls in line with telling the story.
Right. So next track here we have Spaceship, right? This is one of my favorite non-singles of the album. This
Yeah.
I love the beat for this, right? How soulful and kind of mournful it sounds at times. But I
Yeah.
just love how it's put together. The hook works with Kanye singing here. I thought that GLC, his childhood friend GLC, and Consequence, aka Q-Tip's cousin, comes through. I thought that their verses were great, but I really love Kanye's verse there.
Mm.
He's more or less kind of thinking back when he used to work at the Gap and the kind of shit that he went through. I love the part where he says, "Y'all don't know my struggle. Y'all can't match my hustle. You can't catch my hustle. You can't fathom my love, dude. Lock yourself in a room doing 5 beats a day for 3 summers. That's a different world, like 3 summers." That line caught me. All right,
Mm.
I deserve to do these numbers. So it's just that determination to be in who you are now, but you gotta do the job, you gotta do the 9 to 5, which you hate, right? And
Mm.
that's something that I could relate to, like, right now,
Everybody
like
can
at this day.
relate
Like everybody
to
can relate to that trend. But and of course the pitch shifting that he did with is a Marvin Gaye sample that he
Yeah,
that
I'm
he used,
having a sample.
just so damn soulful. I love this track. Uh Doughboy, you
Yeah,
love Spaceship?
they're my favorite song on the album.
Hmm.
Ah, okay, okay.
My favorite song on the album. Just the way how you just started off. If you're a working man, you just be like, yeah, like if my manager assault me again,
Assault me, I
I'll
will
be
be
assaulting him.
assaulting him.
Yeah,
Just brash like that. I love that. Yeah. I
you know,
started off earlier like,
yeah.
man. Like you
Just
just
the
building that anger up
yeah,
now.
just had a normal working man could be like, yeah, I in that mood, yeah, I in that mood, and then like then anymore with a blood by the non-smoking sign.
I love
Must
that.
you
I
don't
love
want
that
to be
line.
there. Must you don't want to be there. You really don't care about nobody.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that the whole vibe with it, like
You know?
you're like, yeah, boy, this 9 to 5 really sucks ass. But
uh yeah. Ricardo, thoughts on Spaceship.
Yeah, no, this is a high point in the album for me as well. Not my favorite track, but it's still real hard up the. It's just, yeah, again, the soulful approach to everything. It's like, oh, whoa, this vibe in. I vibe this track. I love this track as well.
Yeah. Micwise. Spaceship.
Yeah. Dope song. Everybody did the thing on it. My personal favorite verse was GLC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the hook. I think John Legend did the background vocals for the hook. It sounds like John, I
All right.
think. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
either him or Tony Williams. I'll have to
Yeah.
check and
Those are
see.
the two names that kind of bouncing around in my head. I had
Right.
to listen to it again to make sure. But yeah, dope song, dope concept. The beat was immaculate,
Yes.
subdued but immaculate. Yeah, one of the high points for me.
Right.
Definitely.
Speaking of high points, now we gotta get to the song that everybody like you could not escape this song when it came. This one theme with
Jesus.
fire and brimstone, literally. Jesus Walks By. This was the Grammy winning single that just changed everything, Jed. And for
yeah,
me, this is near perfect in my opinion. Everything in this works. The kind of marching cadence, the bomb, 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 the soulful vocals, everything, even the violins in it as well too. Everything about this song works right. And why I like this, listen to it now though, is really the lyrics from Kanye, because it's not like I'm gonna be preachy and I'm gonna take you all to church, even though it is kind of like bringing people to church there. But he's talking to the common man. He's talking to the hustlers, the drug dealers. He's talking to them in a relatable way. And even he himself is just kind of bearing his soul and saying, well, you know what? I ain't not trying to convert atheists into believers. I just showing I need Jesus, right? But I know that I had to do some sin. I had to do what I had to do to survive now. But still, like in the hook, he says, I hope Jesus walks with me, right? And then, well, I love the last few lines I really love about this. Is where he says, so here go my single dog, radio needs this. They say you can rap about anything except for Jesus. That means gun, sex, lies, videotape. But if I talk about God, my record won't get played. Like just those 4 bars alone, just sums up the whole
Yeah.
song. Like this is something man passionate about, but he knows what he's going up against, and he actually mentions it in the final track where he was shopping around the track and people didn't care. It's like, dude, nobody want to hear about Jesus. People want to go in the club, Jed. I like at the very end where he says, next time I'm in the club, everybody's screaming out. That was just so perfect. So that's why I love the approach it, where it's like I not trying to come off as some kind of pastor, as coming off as a real man by telling you I need Jesus. I just showing you how I feel right now, Jed. I know all they going through hell just like me, so we need him as well, right? Regardless of how it is you feel and whatnot, right? But yeah, this to me is one of the greatest rap songs I would say ever
Yeah.
recorded ever, in my opinion. I love this track. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, there's a remix to this, by the way, with Common and Mace. Yes, Mason Better, when he was
Pastor Mace.
Pastor Mason. I thought that his verse on that was really dope as well. So yeah, not much more I could say about Jesus Walks. I
Right
love
before
this,
Mace joined G Unit and turned back to Murder Mace.
which was so funny. That was so funny.
Hilarious.
Micwise, what do you think about Jesus Walks?
Basically I agree with what you said there. No matter what your stance is, a great song is a great song. And I like how he really wasn't preachy on it. Because when you hear a chorus like that, you think you're gonna be given a sermon, but it wasn't that. He really was just talking from the perspective of a regular man. And great song. I love the bum bum bum. I love that. I love the choir in the back. I love the drums. The drums is one of my favorite things about it. So
yeah, the man really made you feel that track, boy. Like if you come out of it, if you like when that track ends, you have to feel something in that, boy. That
you do
song,
have to feel
that
something.
beat just moves you, boy.
And I love the last line too. Next time I'm in the club, everybody screaming out. I find that was
that's
a powerful way to end.
Powerful way to end that track.
Yeah,
But this song is nothing short of groundbreaking. Ricardo, you agree with Jesus Walks?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you covered perfect. I mean, yeah, this song is a treat for me. Right? This song was excellent. It covered so much so well. And the central premise of it is still present to this day. You know, we just talk about that with James Baldwin. You know, the central idea of it, what it trying to say, what it's trying to do with it. Yeah, it worked. It nailed it. I mean, yeah, it deserved the Grammy. Come on.
Yeah. Doe Boy,
Yeah.
thoughts on Jesus Walks?
Well, I don't fancy the preachy Jesus-y stuff so much, but it worked.
Fair enough.
It worked. This is actually not to say like I hate the song or something, but
Right.
this was Kanye baby. He was trying to shop this song for about 3 years. This was basically baby, and he feels so passionate about it, and you could see it. You could hear it in the recording itself, and in the video itself. You could see he was really passionate about that song.
Yeah.
He put a lot of effort into both product, into the song, into the video, and he get what he wanted, because I hear this in the club many times.
Yeah. And did people catch the Holy Ghost?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they did. I have a feeling, when they played in clubs, they did.
It was filled with other spirits, but
all right, so next track, that's when you think Jesus Walks was like the powerful thing on the album. Then it hit you with Never Let Me Down by featuring Jay-Z and JIV. And this was the moment where I was like, all right, again, it feels right now, but like again, genuine feels here. This was originally supposed to be on the Blueprint 2, which is pretty interesting in my opinion. It appeared actually on he had the College Dropout, the mixtape before, And yeah, he had that on that mixtape that he brought out before the real album. But yeah, this one is with Kanye joining forces with the big brother Jeezy himself. This instrumental, boy, wow,
Yeah.
so soulful, boy. This gets to me every time I hear it. Though. I love the vocals, the
Yeah.
female vocals for this. I love how G just affirms his GOAT status, even though he retired, last year.
Yeah.
I love how Ye just basically talk about, well, yeah, this is my destiny for me on the mic right now. So I love where he starts off his verse saying where I get down for my grandfather who took my mama, made her sit in that seat where white folks didn't want us to eat. At the tender age of 6, she was arrested for the sit-ins. 6, eh? And with that in my blood, I was born to be different. Just them 4 bars alone, I was just like, all right, okay. And then just when you think everything going good, boy, then GIV come with the spoken word piece.
Yes.
It's like, all right, this is too much. This is too much.
Yeah.
I'm breaking down, because yeah, it is beautiful. Just so incredibly gorgeous. Then when you take the song done, when you hear take them to church, it's like, all right, they're done. And Jeezy come back with that next verse, like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he ends this verse off with let me just say the line, right? So when I start spitting them lyrics, niggas get very religious. 6 Hail Marys, please Father forgive
Father,
us.
forgive us.
Young the Archbishop, the Pope, John Paul, your niggas, the way y'all all follow Jigger. Hove's a living legend, and I'll tell you why. Everybody want to be Hove, and Hove's still alive. Drop mic, walk off, tell you, hey, go back to the album. I done. I say what I say, I done. Go ahead. Do your thing. Love this song. Not much more I could say. Ricardo, do you love this song as much as I do? Or
Yes, I do. This is my favorite track on the album. Yeah, everything about this is new to me. Well, we kind of skipped the fact that, this is one of my favorite music cases, but we kind of skipped on, we didn't talk about Click last time. I thought Click was one of my favorite music cases as well.
oh, yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah. But this was excellent. This was like next to perfect song for me. Mostly because JT had 2 fucking verses, like a wood. And especially coming out after Black Album, you didn't think it was going to hit for a while. And it was like, well, weird. This was like next to perfect for me. This is an excellent track. Quick, probably Doe Boy or Mike could probably answer this for me. There's a line where he says, all of them on the way, the 8 wonders on the way. What was the meaning of that line? Never really understood. I always thought he was coming out on the next album. That's why I thought that the album was going to be called 8 Wonders. That's all I gleaned from that at the time.
Oh, you're right.
I think that was
that
he was talking about he 8th album or something. So I think it's something.
Right.
Like the 8th one.
Right.
I don't know. Something. That's how I interpreted it.
That's very hype for us from now because like Black Album come out, we thought he wasn't getting nothing. But you had to do Jordan now. So it was just a big sort of hype for me now, going up now. But that's the only thing I could glean from that, but I never really understood. But yeah. This is next a perfect track. GIV's spoken word was brilliant. And at that time, spoken word was real, like a big deal for me coming up, But I was like, you're not going to college, so I think, you start to snap your fingers, getting men in the courtyard, and in the courtyard. And yeah, that's right at the time. So it was next a perfect track. Still perfect track.
Right. Micwise, I know you have a love for this song, right? Tell me yes or no.
Yeah, favorite song on the album. Goosebumps. It's so song.
Yeah. I get goosebumps when I hear this track too, right? The beat alone.
Yeah, Hove, like wow, my God.
Yeah.
Then Kanye being so honest on it and vulnerable, and JIV with the powerful spoken word piece. And yeah, Ricardo's right. That was a big time for spoken word. That's when Russell Simmons had the remember the Deaf Poetry
Yeah.
on HBO. Yeah.
To this day, I can still watch Knock Knock. Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Guy Knock Knock. That's probably one of the best things. And yeah, at the time it was just real hard. And when we go talk about another track involving the time, because it's again catering to bougie Negroes. Catering to bougie Negroes. That's what he was doing. Especially coming out after 50 Cent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Doe
Boy. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. That's just basically all I had to say. Hove being like up there as one of my favorite rappers, like to hear him come back and give me 2 verses, like 2 incredible verses. That was a
fiery verses,
like. And just the kind of stuff he was talking on that, he was feeling himself on that one. And, yeah, it's just incredible song. Everything about it, the vocals, the beat, what everybody contributed. Yeah, that's a perfect song. Perfect song.
Right. Doe Boy, thoughts
Yeah.
on Never Let Me Down? You get
Um,
emotional when you hear it, or is it like, but
nah,
hard though?
it does put me in his zone, but like Kanye didn't know Jay-Z was gonna do that and all because he was like,
No?
yo, you still going? Oh, yeah, then Rockefeller in the building. So
Yeah.
like Jay-Z just like he heard the beat and just feel that beat and went in. And went
Exactly.
in and just was smashing. You know, like it, this again, and where they put in between Jesus Walk and the other track, that
Yes.
Yeah.
life. It's again it suit where it is. And it was
Yes.
a good build up.
Yeah, totally agree. Right. So as you know, well, I wanted to bring up sequences. I might as well do that now, right? So we dramatic moments. Well, sorry, no, we had we emotional moments, right? Now we could kind of kick back, relax, and just be all braggadocious now. So kicking things off with Get 'em High featuring Talib
Yeah.
Kweli and Common. The beat apparently I believe was done in like what 50 minutes. I think Talib Kweli was in the studio at the time, and he well Kanye really wanted Talib to be on that song though. And just right off the bat, I'm gonna say I love Talib's verse in this. Well, Kanye's verse is great, right? He kicks off the verse really great as well. I love how braggadocious he is. Like, well, you know what? Yeah, I left college, but you know now I do my own thing, Jenna. I can get your gear and blah blah blah, right? And this the instrumental for this works as well, right? But I love how he works in Talib, right? What makes it work for me is that you know Talib to be this conscious guy and all that kind of stuff, right? But how Kanye was just like, hey, I try to get with this girl, so I have my friend Talib on the phone here, and you want to talk to her. It's like, nah, you don't really know Talib, Dread. Then Talib come in basically and saying, I can't believe you used my name to get this girl, Dread. Like, what's going on here? And
Mhm.
this how he comes in with that was just excellent. So I just love that he could kind of just relax there, just be a little braggadocious for a while. You know what I mean? Instead of just being all conscious or whatnot. I thought that was a great moment. Um, Common was pretty good at this too. I wouldn't say he has the weakest track, but to me, like I don't know, it was reminded me of like how he rapped on like Water for Chocolate, right? Which is one of my favorite Common albums, right? But he just has this kind of like this kind of methods in the way how he rap in there in tied to the beat. So he not like kicking back and relaxing. He more like kind of focus on what it is he's seeing on the track. And he have like the longest verse in it, but like looking back at it, I think it actually does work. I would say it's like a weak point on the track. Some people might find so, but I think because he kind of just focusing on just spitting bars the way how he was doing it in this structural kind of way, I think it works. So overall, yeah, I dig this track, man. Ricardo, you care for Get 'em High or not?
Yeah, no, solid track. But again, as a follow up to the previous one, it's like, it just eased down, right?
Yeah, it's a sequencing, remember? It can't
Yeah,
be all drama and emotional all
exactly.
the time.
Mhm.
You gotta kick
But yeah,
back and relax. That's what it was.
today is a track out still. Today. But back then, yeah, you should listen to it. It's all run.
Right.
Hard track. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike
Was
Wise,
it
you
just
agree with me in terms of Mike Wise, you agree with me in terms of like sequencing where this track comes in?
Yeah, because I don't think you could out emotion never let you down. So you had to kind of switch gears and
yeah.
yeah, the beat is a bouncy, is a different kind of style for Kanye. One thing I would say about this track though, I never knew that knowing Talib Kweli was a pips
I know, right?
that I could like pick up girls with. I didn't know that. Oh, I know
Yeah.
Talib.
Like,
I
oh,
didn't know.
Quality is my favorite album. Like,
Well,
okay,
yeah.
wow, okay.
At
Whoa.
that time, when Ludacris and 50 was the biggest rappers, I didn't know girls was geeking off a Talib Kweli like that. But
Yep.
so said, so done. I do disagree with the Common verse. I actually think Common have the hardest verse on this, just because of the wordplay and stuff that was littered throughout that verse.
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt like he was just thinking too much about
Mm,
what he was doing. Like he was just focusing. Like you know, everybody else trying to pip skills and whatnot. He did
yeah,
focusing on bars, like where the bar
yeah.
gonna come in and all that kind of stuff.
But you
You
know
know?
why he did that? Because the previous album was Electric Circus and nobody liked the album. So he felt
Ah yes, ah
on
yes,
his first feat here back, it's like he had to prove himself to be,
yes. Right.
that ferocious MC.
Yeah. Doughboy, your thoughts on Get 'em High?
Good track, not like yeah, not like epic like you saw before, but it. What I like about it is the structure and the idea and the structure of the song. It was a
Right.
dope idea, and I like the structure. Um, as Mike said, I didn't know in Talib Kweli was getting people getting these draws in them days. So, I in them days it was good music that was running. It was what Crunk and
Right.
Crunk and 50.
Crunk and hardcore hip hop and yeah,
Yeah.
West Coast hip hop too. Yeah,
So
gangster shit. Yeah,
I didn't know it just to get by, man.
yeah. No. Oh, by the way, Get By, one of my favorite beats from Kanye, hands down. Love that
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll skip the workout plan because that's just a skit basically for the new workout plan, right? This is where things gonna get kind of interesting here, right? So for
Right.
me, this man you could tell Kanye just having a blast on this track, Jen.
Yeah.
It's intentionally silly. Like, I won't defend this song. It's intentionally silly, right? With the whole hip hop workout kind of premise.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love how satirical it was. Because basically just saying, yeah, you working hard to get this body because you want to attract this baller, this NBA star, this rapper. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is you're doing it for, which is a team that I remember the game explored with this song Could Get Far that Kanye also produced and also appeared on. You know, this basically like you going out your way to sleep with a rapper, there basically. But because he having fun with the beat that. Oh, by the way, the beat for this though, I really love how it bumps. The I keep like forgetting the violinist's name. Miri Ben Ari. I always remember like
Yes.
just liking her. I just always felt she had a nice look, screen presence and
Yeah.
whatnot. But she just goes crazy on this beat though, you know, in terms
Yeah.
of the violence. Just so energetic with it. And it just matches the whole 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 beat. And I don't know, I just like it. It's just a dumb fun song there. And also there's a remix it well a Lil Jon remix. So it's a crunk version of it. It has
Hmm.
Twister and Fonzwood Bentley. Anybody remember him? Yeah, where
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
he now? Right. So is that.
Selling
Um,
umbrellas.
you know? but
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you online at umbrella man stuff,
Yeah.
man.
yeah. But couple of things I just want to mention before we get to your thoughts, Ricardo, right? So I always like how the hook near the end, that's right. Put in work, move your ass, go berserk. It always reminds me of like Rosa Parks, so the hook from Outcast. And hush at first. Everybody moved to the back of the bus, right? So I thought that was interesting. Also, fun fact, right? So Mr. J. Cole himself, you know, Generation Z's favorite conscious rapper right now,
Yeah.
actually had a song back in 2011 called Workout, right? And
Yeah.
I remember they sample, well, you know, they had a guy in the end using the kind of vocoder thing, right? So they had that do 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 that thing, right, near the end. And I remember he used that as a sample for that song. And what make that song interesting is afterwards, like in Born Sinner, right, the 2013 album, he had a song called Let Nas Down. And it was about basically Nas calling saying, dude, why you do that crap workout, Jay? That song is garbage, Jay. Dude, you make me
Yeah.
angry, Jay. Don't do that song ever again, Jay, you know? So he's like, yeah, I let Nas down with that single. But what make that even funnier now is that J. Cole find that the new workout plan is actually the worst track on this album though.
Okay.
Which is funny because he used the sample in it on his song, but whatever. But yeah, I know it have people who hate the song. People might just find it dumb. I think the real criticism in that it kind of sounds dated, especially if you see the video for it. But I still think
Right.
it's fun. I just love the energy that goes into it. And oh gosh, it's just Kanye just, I don't know, being a dick and just having fun, right? So I can let that slide. I kind of like this track, you know? It is what it is. Ricardo, you like this track or is this something that you just skip if I just strip it?
No, I actually like the track a lot, mostly because yeah, Miri Bernari, she was everywhere at the time. She used to do a
Yeah.
bunch of like features everywhere.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
like,
She was
I
hard on this
remember
track, but she was a real hard on
yeah,
this track.
so when Kanye West came to Trinidad, I went to the performance here in this is 2005,
Right.
and he performed this with a local violins quartet
Oh,
in Trinidad. And yeah, it was an excellent live performance. Like this was that's why it's sticking in my mind. This song in particular. Now. Yeah, he did most of his other tracks, and this was right after the late registration came out. Now, so he did both
right.
tracks from that and this. Now. And yeah, that was a big deal at the time because that local quartet band just blew everybody away with performance now. Yeah, Kanye West just real hype them up and pips them up. Yeah, look the kind of local talent we have now.
Right.
Yeah, that was brilliant at the time. Again, catering to bougie niggas.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Micwise.
Hey,
Mike
yeah,
Lee.
yeah, it look like Mike,
All
yeah,
right, all right, all right. Mike left to come back. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So Mike, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doe Boy, do
yeah.
you care for the new workout plan, or do you
Eh,
think it's just booty?
Nah, it that cool. I actually like that track. It's just funny and silly.
That's it. It's silly,
Yeah,
but that's what I like
Yeah,
about
funny
it.
and
It's
silly.
intentionally silly. Yeah. Next
no
track we
problem.
have, and this was one of the most popular songs of the album. I remember this song was all over the place. There was no escaping this. Slow jams.
Yes.
Some nice and
Yeah,
slow for the ladies. Um, but this album here, it's like different from the video version. I'm assuming it's the same version that was on Twister's album Kamikaze, which I still haven't
Right.
listened to as yet, right? But yeah,
yeah.
you get this little intro from Mr. Django himself, Jamie Foxx. Talk about we've been doing all these like club jams, but we need to kind of slow it down, man. Some for the ladies. This lady was asking me, how come we don't do anything for the ladies, man? We need to do some, man. And then you get this track, right? Funny thing about this track, right? First of all, first time I heard this, right? First few times when it was all over the place on BT, right? Because it was on Rap City, it was on 106 in Park, it was on Cedar's World, Kids Ask Their Parents. It was all over the place, right?
I
I
see.
always felt that the vocals in the background, the pitch shifted vocals, was from a woman though. I didn't realize later on it's from Luther Vandross.
Yeah, La Luta track.
I was like,
Yeah.
what? You make this thing sound like it's a woman singing here, and I was like, wait. And that's when I really, really started to get into this whole pitch shifting thing now. Because that really amazed me, right? But I love the beat for this. I love the bongo drum beat that comes in, how it increases speed with the bada-bada-beep, 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 you know what I mean? Kanye comes in with some of his most memorable bars in it. Of course, the famous ones being, she got a light-skinned friend, look like Michael Jackson. She got a dark-skinned friend, like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just such a famous set of bars there. But who steals the show is, oh yes, and of course Jamie Foxx comes in with this smooth chorus. And I would admit there was some artists there that I didn't even hear about before. These R&B legends like Ready for the World, who else? Minnie Riperton. I never heard of these people there, but
Mhm.
so thanks Jamie for introducing me to these legends. Also Ricardo, I didn't even know this. Aisha Tyler was also on this track though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
I'm
was the
aware
one
of
who
it.
was telling Kanye, do it faster. Come on, do it faster.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that. Did not even know that till recently,
Just
right?
so Lana from Archer.
Yes,
Yep.
that is her. That is her. One genius, look it up. It's her. It's her. I was like, what?
Well, I shocked you. Like,
I
wow.
was shocked when I find out that too, way. But who steals the show, of course, is Twister, boy.
Yes.
My God, that man verse was insane. The way how he raps fast, and not just the rapping fast, but in time to the beater, especially when them bongos come in with the right, and how he
Yeah,
just flowing on
yeah.
that like. I'm not even gonna try to replicate that,
Yeah,
but
don't
I
try.
just like where he referenced with Earth, Wind and Fire, Keith Sweat, Jodeci in his the last set of bars that he spit now, and how he referenced them in his rhymes though I thought was great. I can't remember if I believe Twister had some stuff prior to this, right? But
Yeah, he
oh,
had Adrenaline, and
yes.
I think Adrenaline on another album, and
Yeah, well, I know he was big in the '90s, well, especially coming from Chicago now. But
Yeah.
I like my point is like for new audiences who never hear Twister before, this is like a perfect introduction. By like, oh my god, this man could spit, the man could real flow. But I love how he flow in this. And it's kind of funny as I mentioned Twister as well too because I remember his second single, right? Because his first single was this. And I remember he had an outro for that, right? An outro where he kind of closes off slow jazz,
yeah,
but it's not in this one, right? But he also had a song called Overnight Celebrity. And while I love the pitch shifting on slow jams, I hated the pitch shifting in Overnight Celebrity, right? It had this chipmunk style to it, the real high pitch kind of thing. And the way how he used it on that track, boy, was so annoying. But like,
Nah,
I was
that
like,
was actually that one was actually better because he used the pitch and then he chopped. So like with the
no,
girl you
but I
so
hate
fine,
when he
instead of
chops
saying
it
it, that's
though.
like girl
It's
you so fine. You know?
right, like in the chorus it was good, but it's the bridge that I hate, boy. The ah, 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 ah. I was like, stop it, please stop it. But song is good, but just that bridge that I hate, boy. But other than that, yeah, slow jams, work for it is. I love this track. This is for the ladies. This is something that's kick back. I just groove to, boy. I just love this
Yeah,
track.
relax music.
How much more I could say? Ricardo, slow jams.
Love this track. Next a perfect track for me as well. It's one of the higher tracks on the album. Not second favorite, but first pretty high. So
Yeah,
I'll say third best in the album for me.
right. And I actually don't mind this extended version of it. I don't mind the little Jamie Foxx sections, where he's like, where's this Smokey Robinson? You know what I mean? I don't mind that. It sounds good. Speaking of collaborations, now we have to get to Breathe In, Breathe Out, featuring Ludacris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the high of, Word of Mouth, still my favorite Ludacris album. And oh gosh, it was Chicken and Beer.
Chicken
And
and
that's
beer.
where
That would
that's where
what
Stand
about
Out.
was earlier.
Yeah, and
Chicken and beer.
that's where Stand Up came from. And that
Yeah.
and I was so shocked that Kanye produced that though. I was like, I didn't know Kanye
Same.
was that capable. Wow,
Same. Yeah,
okay.
same.
Okay. And there was a remix fit where Kanye spit some dope bars in it too. But why I mention all this is that you would think that Luda would have got a verse too, and no. Man stuck doing chorus duties though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the hooker that breathe in, breathe out,
Yeah.
let the balls fight, or the weave out. Like his delivery not greater, but it's like, could I get him on a third verse or something? Like,
Hey.
even second, get him on a third verse or something. It's ludicrous though. But I like the framing of it though, where the first verse where he says, golly, more of that bullshit ice rap. I gotta apologize to most and Kwali. But is it cool to rap about gold if I told the world I copped it from Ghana and Mali? So this that framing alone where it's like, well, you know what, at the end of the day, I still gonna ball, I still gonna spend money and then regret it. So like in the end where he says, I mean 12 no, he said, I'm trying to spend my stacks and I'm so broke. I look back like, damn, was I on crack? I mean 12 platinum chains. Was I on that? What the hell was wrong with me, dog? You know what I mean? Like him just balling and then kind of regretting it afterwards. Like I like that framing of the song. Other than that, I would say, admittedly, it is the weakest track on the album, but I still love the beat. I love, Kanye's cockiness on it, but I still wish, to this day, could have gotten a verse from Luda. Just a verse, come on. Doe Boy, you agree with me on that?
Yeah, he could have do it and a lot of us. But the beat, I like the beat on it. The pa pa da. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's
And
so, is this something that's rock back to now?
yeah, real mellow. And then like Luda Hook was on point. I was feeling it. So yeah.
Ricardo. So sorry, go on.
That it, as you say, a week, but it have its place.
Yeah, it has its place in the album. Ricardo, thoughts on Breathe In, Breathe Out? Were you
Yeah,
disappointed that
love this
it
track
didn't
as
get a
well.
verse from Luda, or you were good
Right,
with
yeah.
this?
Totally. It was fine. I fine as is. This that track was I listened to it, it's just okay, I remember this track on the album. But
Yeah,
when I listen to it nowadays, I'll be like, okay, it's not a skip track, it's solid, good. One of my
yeah,
favorite.
right. So now we get my favorite moments on the album, School Spirit. This is one of 3 skits on the album, and it's some of the funniest skits I ever hear on an album. Period, boy. So this first one is basically Kanye's dad, or him talking. No, sorry, not Kanye's dad. Him talking to Lil Jimmy. We'll get to Lil Jimmy in a bit, right? And it's just the kind of stuff this man talking about, boy. Where it's like, this habit, this smoking habit that you're doing, and not focusing, man. And you know what? You're gonna be working at the Gap, and you're gonna be kissing ass and all that kind of stuff, boy. The man just goes in, boy, and it's so incredibly brutal, but it's just so funny. And the way how he delivered as well, to like this real stuck up, you know, um, trying to be black, like, bougie black father basically.
Yeah.
But it just works in setting up the next track, which is School Spirit. But y'all have anything to say about the first skit for School Spirit?
Yeah,
I believe
that's good. That's good. Skits are funny. It's a
Yes,
skit.
and this one was really really funny. Ricardo, you agree or disagree?
I barely remember it at the time. I don't go back. There's one thing I didn't go back to listen to. So I don't know. I really don't know what it was about.
You should go back to it though. It stands out, right? So
Right.
now we get to School Spirit, and at first when I first heard this, I was like, all right, why the song censored, right? And then I learned that Miss Aretha Franklin, rest in peace, can they use vocals from her song "Spirit in the Dark"? They were sample pitch shifted here. She don't like no cussing, Dread. So if you're gonna
Yeah.
use the sample, don't be cussing. Although I hear that if you go on YouTube, you can find the uncut version to this, right? I haven't yet, but I actually should. But I love the beat for this. It's very soulful, like real old school soulful. You know what I mean? Like, what I like also too is the theme of it basically was like, I just not liking being in school. Y'all laughing at me for wanting to pursue a career, but when all they graduate, what are they gonna be doing? Working some crappy job, and I could be right around my beds or whatever, laughing at all, So that kind of vibe there. I like where he kind of uses like these I forget what you call it, like the stepping basically, like these African American college clubs there, they always have like these
Yeah.
steps, like
Yeah.
right, like that, like remember Stop the Yard, that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
the end there.
It's called. The nice thing is black. What do you call it? By fraternity culture. No?
Yeah, fraternity culture, yeah. So, but overall, yeah, I really dug this track, and I find that the censoring it make it even funnier as well too. In a strange way, the censoring makes it even funnier, in my opinion. Ricardo, what are your thoughts on School Spirit? You care for this one?
Yeah, great track on its own. But again, it's one of these much like with previous track. I don't think sometimes it's skippable in this case too. I haven't listened to it in a long time myself.
Right.
But yeah, still a solid track. And yeah, again, I was talking like a broken record. Bougie Negroes, it's college culture, black college culture.
That's who he taking shots at. He taking shots
really
directly at them.
Yeah, he hasn't really tapped into that yet. It's a high time somebody get a good criticism of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doe Boy,
Yeah.
thoughts on School Spirit?
It's cool because I like the sample and thing. The standout point really in the verses. I mean, the CD coming on with the I feel a woo coming on because the whole
Woo coming on, cause
yeah.
woo. I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah.
that whole that has put many vibe there.
Right. Then we get School Spirit Skit 2. And this one just as funny as the first one, but it's just basically him talking about, well, you know what? Yeah, so you're going good, right? You graduate, then you're gonna get your masters. Then you're gonna get your masters. You're gonna get your doctorate.
Yeah.
I just love the theme of this though. It's basically like you just working throughout your life to be smart, to be so smart. You know what?
Yeah.
And the father just basically saying, well, you know what? You know what? Say what you want, Trent, but you know what? These degrees are gonna get me going. You know what I mean? I never had sex, but you know what? These degrees keep me satisfied. You know what I mean? I love that. It's just so hilarious, boy. But the high point for me though is the next skit, Lil Jimmy. This one had a winner Academy Award, boy. If it should have won an Academy Award, boy. Cause this is so brutal, it's so dark, and it's so funny at the same time, Trent. So Jimmy's the son of the guy talking, right? And he just basically talking about his father dead. He left all of his degrees to him. And when he was in school, his father was in school. His father was so dread, he took his degree. And what make it funny is when we see, well, while all the other homeless people had newspaper, I have my degrees. Keep me warm. And you know what? My children are gonna work. They're gonna stay in school. They're gonna get degrees too. I'm sorry, this is the funniest skit on the entire album. I love this skit, Trent.
Yeah, like it's really funny skit on the album, but it like to me it's like so much a parody of how most parents think. Like,
yes,
you need a degree or you just be nothing out here, and then when you get the degree, you can't get a goddamn job.
I know, right? And that's why I say this album hit me at the perfect time when I was in tertiary school, Dread. Because like, all right, once I done this, what's the next step, Dread? What I was supposed to do like everybody else and get a master's in IT. I don't want to do that. I want to do something else, Dread. And that's why I ended up doing film after I did IT now. But yeah, continue.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like the perfect FU
Exactly.
basically on the album basically people are say, well, can you still drop out of college and he ain't nothing, but like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Ricardo, do you remember Lil Jimmy, or you still need to recap this?
No, I remember when you mentioned it, I was like, yeah. I now remember what it is about. Because again, making the joke of, you had to finish your degree and jobs and all that shit. Yeah, remember.
Yeah, but you found it hilarious, or you just didn't care
Yeah, I
for it?
remember at the time. I was like, yeah, this work.
Yeah,
This was
but trust me, it is still funny as hell, Chad. It's still funny. But it dark to it. That's what I like about it. Like real gloomy, but at the same time you just laughing your head off, Chad.
Yeah.
Okay, like he just carried that argument to like the extreme now, you know. Now we get to two words, boy, and I would say this, along with Never Let Me Down, like these kind of battling head to head as was favorite non-single on the album, Dread.
Yeah.
Oh, everything about two words, word Dread. The use
Right.
of
Did he
two
not
words, the
get
use
it
of
on
the
Chappelle?
yes, I was right. Good thing you mentioned that. Yes, Kanye, Mos Def, and Freeway performed this at Chappelle show. I remember that performance. I love that
Yeah.
performance. But that's the concept of it. The two words, words with two syllables, and just basically rap into that. Everybody come through hard with this. Mos Def comes through, bringing that East Coast sound to to the beat as well. I love how he comes through it, real grimy.
Two
But
words, most def. Yeah.
yeah, but best two bars in the whole album. Sorry, in that track though. Kanye West, two words, Chi-Town, Southside, worldwide, cause I rep that till I fucking die.
Mm.
Round of applause. I love that. Just those two bars alone, just sum up the man approach it, cause he just coming real hard, real aggressive on this track. Like, yeah, I ain't taking no prisoners here. And Freeway, I was worried about him, cause he have his style, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still good there. And what I say, like he coming like two words, freeway, two letters, AR, turn your rap niggas two words, fast runners. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
way how he always enunciates on the last
Yes, yeah,
word.
you got stress the last words.
Yeah,
But
but he come true strong in this. But the icing on the cake though, the Harlem Boys choir boy, the
yeah.
vocals that he brought to the table with this boy, epic boy. So overall, just everything, the way how it put together, and of course, Miri comes through with some great violence all through the song. Yeah, I love this track, boy. This rivals Never Let Me Down as like the best non-single on this entire album. Agree or disagree, Ricardo?
Yeah, I agree. It's my second favorite track on the album. Yeah, this is what I remember. I remember listening to it and I was like, this song is familiar, John. I was like, oh yeah, this is on Chappelle. Oh shit! All right, good. That was Kanye West. Good. Like
Yeah.
at the time, I didn't know, during Chappelle, show, it didn't register to me. It's the same fella though. His face wasn't everywhere. It's just, it was just his voice and everything. But remember, Through the Wire didn't have him on the video at the time, and then all the song was like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, so it didn't register for me. But yeah, I remember just really loving this track.
Yeah, I really, really love this track. Speaking of Through the Wire now, while we wrapping up, so Through the Wire, my history with this song, right? I remember, well, the video was out, right? And it was just all over the place, right? Especially Rhapsody Basement. That was the first Kanye song I ever listened to, right? First time I was introduced to the chipmunk style that he's known for, right? And he was sampling
Sonic Soul.
Sonic Soul. Okay, Sonic Soul, right? So he was sampling a song from Shaka Khan, Through the Fire, right? Now, the thing is, I wasn't listening to the story. I didn't even know about the accent, all that kind of stuff. I just was approaching it as as music now. And I remember not liking the song at all, though. I'll tell you why. Because the level of how he pitch shift that her vocals now, it just make it sound like wailing now. It make it sound like so sad now, like through the fire. It'll be like the crying now. And just the beat and how mellow it was, I was thinking like this is like I wasn't feeling the vibe now. It just really felt like way too emotional. And then I sat down and I listened to the lyrics, and it's just basically him kind of detailing what happened, the accident,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
how
he
came
nearly
out and
dead.
how he recovered. And then in the second verse, you talk about him being signed to Rockefeller and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that is when it clicked for me. When I dug into the lyrics, it clicked. Everything about it clicked. The instrumentation, the pitch shifting actually started to work for me. I love the lines where you say, I must got an angel, cause look how death misses ass. Unbreakable what? You thought they called me Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
Best two lines on that a whole song. So yeah, it took me a while to really get by, but as I dug into it, I was like, I love this song. I really, really love this song. This is a classic in my opinion. And it hits many feels as well too. Even the
Yeah.
pitch shifted really hit many feels as well too. But while like it's not really about tragedy, like he says, it's like turning tragedy into triumph though, and you really feel that. So it does have this uplifting feel to it through it all now. So yeah, I love this song, man. Doe Boy, you agree?
Yeah. Well, what with me on the song is the how he recorded with his broken jaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once I realized that, boy, that's when it hit me even harder to it.
Yeah.
And when you listen now, you could hear like him trying to force the words out. Yeah, you could tell like the wire just trying to keep his jaw
and,
from misaligning it.
and
But when
yeah,
you hear that, boy, it's like wow, this is
so
taking a whole other level, John.
that why, as I say, he tracked me in through the wire. He was basically through the wire, trying to speak through the wires anymore. So, like the sample I choose, the Shaka Khan sample, that was that was the only way he would have find that through the fire, well, close to the through the wire sample. It worked. It worked. The idea that he had for the video with the whole trial with him coming to Rockefeller as a producer to
Yeah,
he chained in there when the game the chain and he officially was a Rockefeller member.
yeah, that was a
Oh,
great moment on that video, by the way.
yeah, everything just work with the song, and it was a good idea at that time. And I'll give Kanye credit, like he'd have really think big when he doing videos and
Yeah.
Yeah,
think outside the box.
yeah, I actually love that video as well too. Like it took me a while, but yeah, I love that video too. It's so heartfelt, man. That's what I love about it. Ricardo, through the wire.
Yeah. When I first heard this, I immediately look it up to go download on Kazaa.
Ah, yes,
Wow.
kids ask parents. I
Yeah.
had it. I had it too. I had it too.
I love this song when it first came out. I was like, yeah, this is real hard though. This is an excellent track and how it flowing and how it thing. And it's like, who's this fellow? And I see this the the little what do you call it, the little information is given at the end of the video on Rhapsody. I'm like,
Yeah,
well, what? Yeah, look it
yeah,
up on Kazaa like the day after. Like, yeah, there's a lot of us.
right. So last couple of tracks, right? Now we have Family Business. Now I was always under the impression that it was about Kanye's family, but Taxi People are Genius. I actually learned it's not. It's actually about this female vocalist who sings at the very end. Her name is Tori, and it was about her family basically. So Kanye was just basically talking about just African American families, right? How they so attached to grandparents and all that kind of stuff, right? Just
Yeah.
being together, right? That dynamic.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, but I still feel the sentiment about it, even though I wish it was actually about Kanye's family. But you do feel the how heartfelt and just it's beautiful. It's nice, right? I wouldn't say it's a weak track. 'Cause it's just so emotional. And once again, with sequencing, as I mentioned before, you realize again like these emotional tracks, like right after. Well, I would say, Two Words is similarly emotional just off the beat alone, but just through the wire and Family Business, just emotional vibes that just really
In
hitting
the
you in your
fields.
heartstrings. That
Yeah,
feeling.
in the
So
fields.
yes, it is the last call for alcohol. Beat is like, all right, the album winding down, guys. Let me wrap up here. But still, I feel it. I feel this song. I really dig it.
Yeah.
Ricardo, is this a song you care for or not?
I actually surprisingly don't care for this as much as I should. I just never feel it per se, but then the track after I absolutely love. There's a thing, but I don't know, Family Business I end up skipping all the time. I don't know.
All right. Doughboy, your thoughts on Family Business?
It's a cool song, eh? Not my favorite, but it's a cool song. I didn't know it was about somebody else, but it works. Kanye
Yeah,
makes it
I
work.
still think it works. I still think it works, in my opinion. All right, so now we get to the final track, Last Call for Alcohol. Um,
Yeah.
I always love G's intro in this. Yo, fuck you, Kanye, for bringing it out to the studio. Like, I always find that was hilarious, the way how he kicks it off like that, though. But basically, I don't want to say this is the first of its kind, but yeah, this is the long ass outro. This is where we have your rapid, and then you have a bunch of just basically the artist speaking for like
Yeah.
about 8 minutes or so. In this case, yes,
Mm.
it's 8 minutes in the 12 minute song. So he raps for about four. He does, and he actually does like three verses, and then he just talks for 8 minutes, right? And basically he's talking about his come up in the in
In the
before he
game,
got
yeah.
signed to Rockefeller.
Yeah.
I actually like moments like this. I like to hear what artists will talk about how he got signed and all the shenanigans. Although in this case with the album here, it's more like label stuff. He was signed to these people, but they wasn't sure about it. They want to write him off. He was a producer, not a rapper, and all these things.
I
But I
love I
thought,
love the I love the hook for this, huh? Yeah, here's to the rock.
yeah, here's to the rock. Yeah, I love that. The hook for this is great. He has some great lines in this as well too. Like I
Yeah.
like what he says.
Oh my God, is that a
Right.
black card?
Yeah, I'll get to that. So like where he says, they say he bougie, he big head. Sorry, they say he bougie, he big headed. Would you please stop talking about how my dickhead is? Flow
Yeah.
Yeah.
infections. Give me 10 seconds. I'll have a buzz bigger than insects in Texas. It's funny how it wasn't nobody interested till the night I almost got killed myself in Lexus. Second verse, I like where he says, though the fans want the feeling of a Tribe Called Quest, but all they got left is this guy called West. I thought that was a great line there. Basically,
Yeah.
yes, he is. Like his style and everything was inspired by Q-Tip's production, right? And then, as you said, Ricardo, even though these two sections were recycled lines, he actually one of the lines he actually confesses he did recycle it before, but this one in particular he did use in a previous mixtape where he says, "I went to the malls and I balled too hard. Oh my God, is that a black card?" I turned around and replied, "Why yes, but I prefer the term African American Express." Great line.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
then he follows that up with braids, power, and muscle, like Dave, Puffy, and Russell. Your boy back on his hustle. You know what I've been up to. Killing your niggas on that lyrical shit. Mayonnaise, colored beds. I push miracle whips. And he actually confesses later on that, yeah, when he was talking to E&Rs and stuff, he was talking about, he mentioned the Miracle Whips line there, so I like that he brought it back here. But yeah, I love the beat for this. It's just so laid back and relaxing and just so jazzy. And I could hear this thing, like, and yes, it plays off for like 12 minutes, but I didn't mind it at all. I didn't mind it 'cause I just love this beat, right? And I just
Yeah.
love hearing the man come up doing it. 'Cause it just sounds so humble and everything. And then where it ends, where it's like, well, yeah, this deal with Capitol Records didn't work, but y'all still want to sign, man? Then, well, sign on with Rockefeller, and the rest is history. So I thought this was just an excellent way to end the album off, in my opinion. And I just want to mention with the long ass outros. I remember, well, this is your boy, Doe Boy. Logic actually did a similar outro on his album last year, and it was the same come up thing. I dug it. I don't know. Is this something about hearing artists come up? It's something I like, even though it could run for like what 9 to 10 minutes or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that Kanye was the first to do it, but I would say he is one of the first to really do that on on albums like this. But yeah, solid way to end the album off, in my opinion. No boy, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, a cool way to end off the album. I agree. Um, the story behind it come up was real good because you hear most people would think it was like real easy. He just go play shit for Jay-Z and that was it. Like no, everybody was interested in he as a producer, not as a rapper. Dr. Jay-Z and them I know was interested in him as a producer, not a rapper.
Yeah.
Right.
Until they hear Jesus Walks and Dame Dash say what that track actually cool, we should sign him as a rapper.
Yes.
So it as I said, it's good to hear men backstory. Good to hear the backstory. And that was a good one.
Yeah. Ricardo, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I fully agree. I get why the dash. Look, you don't pigeonhole Kanye, and I still consider him producer per se, but Yeah, I have no problem acknowledging him as a rapper. It's fine.
Right. And well, what were your thoughts on Last Call? Well, you love it, or
I
you
love
find it
Last
a
Call.
bit long
That's
and
why
it's
Last
like
Call's
that.
another highlight. Highlight. Yeah, it's a track I have no problem listening the entire. It's fine.
Yeah, that's the beauty about it. I could listen to all 12 minutes of it and not feel bored. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So closing thoughts on the College Dropout. Easily this is one of the best debut albums I would say in music history, in my opinion. Kanye, I would say I would say like it took a while, like a long while for him to actually put this out. It wasn't like he just woke up one day and just decided to put out an album because he just had beats, collecting dust.
True.
There was a process to it, there was a method to this. This took a long while, you know what I mean? Even before the accident that kind of changed things for him. But just the thought and effort that he put into all these tracks, even the slightly weaker ones, really shows here. A lot of people will say this is his best work, but for me, I would say this is like the perfect introduction into Kanye. This was the stepping the perfect stepping point for his career going forward. I know, well, career wise, he's at a point where we kind of not like fully 100%. But at the time, though, it was like, well, there's no limit where this man could go by. So
Yeah.
yeah, for me, this album still holds up. I still say Late Registration is better just because of the production and just how far he just took his talents, both in rapping and producing. But yeah, this one comes in at a strong second for me. So yeah, I give this a decent 4.5 out of 5 though. If you haven't listened to this album before, I would assume it's because you just either hate rap or you just hate Kanye. That's the only two ways you never listen to
True,
this
true,
album.
true.
But other than that, though, you need to check this out. If you love music, you need to listen to this. If you love hip hop, you need to check this out. And like I say, this is a bona fide classic, in my opinion. And I know it has inspired other artists. I would say in particular like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I would say Logic to an extent, somewhat. Oh yes, we forgot to mention Travis Scott. He's like a hugely inspired by Kanye West
Chancy
as well too.
rapper.
Chance rapper as well too. How can I forget Lupe Fiasco and so on and so forth. The man has done so much. And yeah, to an extent, it started off with the College Dropout. So if those aren't reasons enough for you to check this out, then I don't know what is. So, Ricardo, any last words on College Dropout?
No, I mean not really. I mean it was a good like change of pace for where hip hop was going. I was like, wow, this actually existed.
I know,
Shocking.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it came and again coming off of 50 Cent. Like, look, I don't like the direction with 50 Cent, and look, I love 50 Cent for the album. Let's be clear about that. But for the culture, right?
Yeah, for the
And
culture.
for me, it was just like just such a breath of fresh air. This album coming out, and it's like, wow, this man really like talking to people like me, Jared. I really felt like that at the time. Like it's
Yeah.
shocking that a person that's come out with. Yeah, I give this album like a next to perfect score, like 4.8 out of 5 kind of thing. Um,
Nice, nice.
just very very few things I do like about this album. A couple of skippable tracks maybe at best, but I just thoroughly love this album.
All right, Doe Boy, last
Yeah.
thoughts on last word, sorry.
Um, did I tell you that how most artists' first album does be the true self? And this was pure Kanye. This was Kanye before the Kardashians, before he turned Kanye Kardashian. This is like Kanye before the Nike deals and the Yeezys, and when he was just a dude with a backpack full of CDs with beats and an MPC in his hand.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
That what he was, and as pure as it could come, and this was just him being himself. We had nothing to prove with him just getting out an album because he wanted to be a rapper so bad that how somebody finally gave him the chance, and he just put out basically his soul, and that was shown in the art in the whole project itself, from the booklet with the artwork that he have with him when the bear thing.
you saw the teddy bear thing. I
Yeah.
actually love that icon. That's like I love that
Oh,
icon as
yeah,
the
that's the
mascot of the
official.
album. Yeah.
Like every time I think about Kanye, that has popped into my head.
Yeah.
And then the booklet he make it like a yearbook and stuff.
Mm.
And the whole feel of the album and everything just feels so organic. Like it was just pure. And everybody and everybody saw the potential that he had at the time. And he just ended up making a beautiful, beautiful piece of work.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Some great last words there by Doe Boy. Indeed.
Mm.
All right. So, in closing, Doe Boy, where can we find you online, man? Well, this is your moment to to plug. Micwise, sorry he couldn't come back to end things off, but I know he loved the
Yeah.
album just as much as we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
maybe went back out to war or something like that. I'm not too
that
sure.
one I'm gonna say like he get SOS or something.
You know,
But y'all could catch me and Micwise on the Hostility podcast.
yeah.
Um
Available on YouTube, by the way. But yeah,
um
y'all
uh,
need to check that out. That is like if you want to know about what's going on in the local hip hop scene, or you want to go in depth in what's going on in the American hip hop scene. Yeah, these are the guys I go to.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
the Hostility podcast. You could find us on Instagram, and I think Mike's supposed to have a thing. I think on Facebook. But we on Instagram, we on YouTube. You can check me out on Instagram. Good job, Doe Boy. You can check out Mike Wise on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at MikeWise88.
All right, all right.
Yeah, and that's it for now. And well, he a little busy with all the stuff that you all know that going on right now.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes, yes, yes.
So most likely he might pop up. We gonna do something again. But
Yeah, and don't worry, we will be checking out your podcast. Like actually afterwards, we're gonna check it out because we just really want to hear all the thoughts on what Mr. Man was seeing and whatnot. Yeah, well, as far as I go, well, you could find me on Instagram as well. Just look for Match Bailey Reviews. Twitter, Legally Black MGB, MGB capital letters. Facebook, look for my name, Match Bailey, Legally Black blog official fan base. Ricardo, where can we find you online?
You can find me Ampersat, RMEDY at RMED on Twitter, and then type in Ricardo Medina on Facebook. You find me there.
All right, and that's pretty much about it. So hope you enjoyed this episode of Retrospect Reviews. We have I actually have some more albums that I like to cover, during the year as well. Hopefully I'll get to do one before
hey, yo, he
Anton
know
comes
hit me
around.
up. Mike know
Well,
hit me up. Lights going on my.
oh
Oh,
snap! Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. But tell him though. Thanks so much for coming through as well too. We
Yeah.
have another one lined up as well. Before Carnival, but I'll fill you guys in on that later on. Well, during the month. So, with that being said, before we part ways, might as well just end things off with dropping the Kanye's greatest bar, or I should say the best bar that he ever spit in 2018. Y'all know what it is. Poopity scoop, the whoop, poopity scoop the whoop, poop scoop the whoop. So till next time, guys. This is Matthew and
Ricardo Medina.
Doe Boy.
we are signing off from another episode of Retrospect Reviews. So till the next one, take care. Peace.